Welcome everybody back here at the Clash Royale League Asia. My name is Valdez. With me is Paper Thin. We're here for the second day in a row. We did the Korean teams yesterday. Today we got the Japanese teams. I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring in today.
Yeah, arguably the strongest teams we have here in the Clash Royale League Asia. They did the best overall amongst all the regions last season, so we're looking to see if they can continue that season this season. They're just playing against each other today, though, so it's just Japan versus Japan. And we're going to start things off with a bang today, Valdez.
Yeah, it's going to be the finals rematch. That's definitely a bang we've been looking for here. Of course, GameWith versus Ponos Esports should be a good one. Very excited to get into this one, Paper Thin.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's always a pleasure to see Mikan Booya play, arguably the best player we have here. Him and Expo Master are probably the two we talk about the most. But overall, Ponos Esports has a very strong team with, Reichi and the other players, Fuchi as well. They're very, very strong.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a big matchup to start things off. I just want to get into it. It is going to be kind of interesting to take a look at a different region here in Season 2 and kind of see what they think about the ever-evolving meta that's coming. I know yesterday we saw a lot of Royal Hogs.
A lot of that.
Oinking up the show a lot, and a lot of counters to that, as well as just some other fun stuff. Even saw a Royal Giant win against a P.E.K.K.A deck. That was an interesting game as well. We saw one where a team won with 37 health on their Princess Tower. It was a good day yesterday. Would expect more of the same today, but let's go into our overview here for Season 2. It's going to be a bit of a longer one here, Paper.
Yeah, just a bit longer this season. The regular season starts on August 24th, which was this Friday, goes until October 28th, and we'll be here every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 7 p.m. Korea Standard Time. The playoffs begin November 4th and go until November 11th. So things that are a little bit different. The teams are going to be playing each other in their regions a little bit more than they did last season. We also have some format switches.
So, as you guys can see for the regional divisions, it's double round robin done at the beginning 2 weeks and the last final 2 weeks, weeks 9 and 10. Also, the format in the match set and games here, set 1 is going to be 2v2, set 2 is 1v1. And then we have that King of the Hill, the 3v3 all kill if necessary. Didn't get any of that yesterday as it was all 2-0s, but I would expect it to be a bit closer today.
Yeah, I would think so. I was expecting at least one King of the Hill yesterday, but there were a lot of 2-0s. All the matches were still really close, though, but, especially Kingzone managed to pull it out in their 2 games. Sandbox won the middle match there. A little bit different with the set 1 and 2 this time. If you play in set 1 or 2, you can't play in both. Right, you can only play the 2v2 or the 1v1 this season, so that's a little different. So we're seeing teams save their star player. Maybe they'll put him in the 2v2 instead of the 1v1, like we saw with Expo Master playing in the 2v2 instead of the second set 1v1 to save him for the King of the Hill if they need him.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the growing trend that we're seeing here in Season 2. And let's take a look at today's matchup. As we mentioned, guys, it is that regional battle here, Japan versus Japan for every game today. GameWith up against Ponos Sports, and then Fav Gaming up against Detonation Gaming, and then GameWith returns to go up against Fav Gaming once again.
Yeah, some pretty exciting matches. I mean, again, GameWith was the #1 team overall going into the playoffs. Ponos Esports grinded their way through the wild card to make it to the finals, and then bopped. Bopped GameWith in the finals. They 3-0'd them in the best of 5.
I guess they felt like they had some proving to do after not being right up there at the top, having to make it through that wild card. But guys, we are going to go into the entry here. Let's take a look at who's going to be playing what. As we mentioned, Expo Master playing the 2v2 yesterday. Mikan Booya going to be joining the 2v2 with 10 God for our first set.
Yeah, this is pretty normal. This is what we saw in the finals and in the playoffs was Mikan Booya and 10 God playing the 2v2s together. They do quite well together. They overall had a winning record last season, but in the playoffs, they went 4-0. So they absolutely were on fire when it came to the playoffs. Reiki Jones, a very strong 1v1 player as well. We should talk about the bans here. Both teams banned Tornado and 2v2. Nothing too surprising there. In the 1v1, though, we banned P.E.K.K.A. We saw that be a very strong card yesterday in the 1v1 matchups.
Yeah, we even had players go triple P.E.K.K.A. and just try to beat them down with that kind of deck. Does mean that he might be playing some other kind of deck that does get countered by the P.E.K.K.A. Perhaps some Golem coming in here. And Reiki Jones going ahead and banning the Lava Hound, so doesn't want to have to deal with any Lava Loon type decks.
Yeah, we might see the balloon. We did get surprised yesterday when somebody banned Lava Hound and then a balloon came in.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, and the minor balloon thing. So there are some players who like to do that. Mikan Boya is one of them, actually. I was reading about him. He does like to do the minor balloon thing. We might see that if we get to the King of the Hill between him and GameWith, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one here. I've been waiting, on the sidelines. This is actually only my second day casting Clash Royale, but I've been watching from time to time, and I've heard the wonder and the awe all about Mikan Boya. Definitely seems to be the best player that we do have here in Asia. So excited to get my first chance to actually cast it. But guys, we're going to throw it over to the Japanese studio and take a look at everything here. Actually, first we're going to take a look at GameWith, the 5 players they have on their team. You can see what sets they're playing, and I love these pictures. Lots of smiles.
Yeah, they're a very emotive team. I was watching them in the finals the other day, and even though they were losing, they were still having a good time. They were still laughing in between games and things. And when they lose, though, Amaterasu, I can remember this for sure, he made a big mistake in Game 3 of the finals and was very distraught.
Yeah.
You could see it all over his face. But they're a very strong team. Obviously, they came out first in the regular season of Season 1 of Clash Royale League Asia. Here we look at our winners overall from the finals. Ponos Esports, we've got Mikan Boya, Ten God, Reiki Jones, Rolaporan, and Fuchi.
Yeah, pretty strong lineup here. You see the 4 of them that are going to be playing right here. I love the names that we have going on. Reiki Jones. Always wonder where the Jones comes from. 10 God, not just God, but, 10 God.
10 God.
He is 10 times a God. He is quite a good player.
And Rolaporan, I feel like he made that name just so it's hard to pronounce in English.
Yeah.
That is like
I'm just going to call him Rolaporan.
Rolaporan.
Rolabora. Kind of sounds like a Pokemon.
It does, actually.
Yeah. But as you guys can see, setting up for the 2v2, it's interesting to take a look at the Japanese studio. We were here at the Korean studio yesterday with the players on site, but today they are playing in Japan, of course.
Yes. Yeah, this should be interesting. Basically, both teams are very versatile. The Japanese teams are known for their flexibility. Sometimes they tend to lean towards cycle decks more so than maybe other regions, but they're very capable of playing beatdown, lava balloon, things like that. We might see some, hogs out of them. I'm sure we'll see some hogs. That's been so popular in 2v2. Somebody's going to do it.
Bring out the hogs. I just want to see the emotes, to be honest. Enough of the actual card. Let's just spam some more emotes.
I agree. I feel like they need to give these accounts, because these accounts aren't the players' individual accounts, right? They have special accounts set up so they can use any card they need. They should also have all of the emotes available to them.
I agree. I agree heavily. I think that's necessary coming into the games. And more emotes, please. I know sometimes when you're playing, it's you want to focus, right? You're a professional gamer, but definitely does add to the fun. I feel like Clash Royale is definitely one of the best games at putting fun stuff into it. They have this very fun, easygoing vibe, which I find really cool.
Yeah, the whole thing is just fun. I mean, most of the characters, when they come into play, laugh.
Yeah.
Right? So it keeps it very lighthearted.
Or they go, ooh. The Royal Ghost. Best sound effect in the game, for sure.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
That voice actor needs some more money.
Yeah, he does. Get him another job, guys. But taking a look here at GameWith, Materasu and Yui Hero coming in together for the 2v2, the Golem and the Lava Hound, their favorite cards.
Yeah, so last season these two played together in 15 total games. They went 8-7, so better than 50%, not bad. They played pretty well overall together, so it's not like they're new or anything like that. And then you also might see KK and Shun play together for a game.
Casters in Japan are in the middle of the actual studio, which is kind of fun. But looks like we're ready to jump straight into game number 1, guys. Of course, today is going to be pretty quick because we do have the Japanese feed coming in, but let's see how this game does go down.
Oh, that fireball not quite on point. Doesn't hit all 3 zappies there. So that's a little bit of a miscue coming from Ponos Esports to begin with here.
Yeah. I always try to look and see who it was that just based on their facial expression, maybe you could see. Interestingly, take a look at this, 2 giant skeletons already in the back.
Wow.
Onto the game so far.
So we might see some clone action coming here, but an Inferno Dragon from Ponos. The poison goes down here for GameWith. It looks like this push is going to be kind of even. It doesn't look like anybody's going to get much done here.
Skeleton Barrel comes in. It's going to get a couple of shots, actually, onto that Princess Tower, but mostly just the poison doing the damage. It was good poison overall. Killed the guards and the nearly the Mega Minion. It's going to go down now.
Yeah, poison's so strong. You're going to get so much value against things like Zappies and Guards. Ooh, that Magic Archer is hitting the tower.
That was a very key fireball. There's our first balloon, instantly responded by Bats and the Mega Minion and the Tombstone over here onto the left. So shouldn't be able to get too much done.
No, it will, that bomb won't even make it close enough to damage the tower. A log comes in, backs things up a little bit. A miner getting dealt with by the Mega Minion, but a big push coming here from Ponos Esports.
There's just not enough elixir for them to defend, really, and the cannon cart gets some range, everything else as well with the miner. Take a look at the Inferno Dragon on the left side, even going to get a bit of extra chip damage, and so far, very one-sided to the side of Ponos.
Yeah, that one push was huge. The early situations with the poison and the miners just chipped it down, but when those creatures get in there, and the Magic Archer as well, really great placement with the Magic Archer here to hit the Valkyrie and the tower.
I mean, they're just punishing the Valkyrie placement every single time. If you're going to place it so that it runs straight down the lane, very easy to get so much damage with that Magic Archer.
Yeah. Using that giant skeleton defensively there to soak a lot of that damage from the skeletons that came from the skeleton barrel and the cannon cart, which has become a very popular card recently in competitive Clash Royale.
You can see GameWith desperately trying to knock down that right side Princess Tower, but even take a look at the cannon cart placement. Going to get 3 shots total. And at this rate, I mean, GameWith might even lose their second Princess Tower before Ponos goes down, but a fireball and a miner trying to get in there and take it out, but not quite able to.
Yeah, okay, so they must have another poison because they poisoned the left side Princess Tower here, so they must have another one available. There's only a few seconds left. Are they going to get a fireball off in time?
It looks like the answer is going to be no, as that poison was a big mistake. You could see the players from GameWith, a couple of distraught faces after that one, and yeah, honestly, a mistake like that, that's not what you want in game number 1.
Yeah, that was a mistake. I'm really surprised they didn't poison the right side Princess Tower. It had enough hit points left that the poison would kill it.
Yeah.
And you always want to get...
I'm with you on this one, Paper.
Yeah, and you always want to get towers just in case it comes down to a tiebreaker, because eventually if things like get close enough, you know, the number of Princess Towers you've taken does end up counting towards tiebreakers at the end. So that was a little strange.
And things are going very fast today with the Japanese pre-recording coming in here. But either way, we are in here to game number 2.
So Miner again, followed up by the Fire Spirits. The Bats immediately counter those just to soak up the damage. But the Golem does come down this time. So Ponos going to opt for more of a beatdown this time around.
Just trying to prove that they can win with multiple different decks, I suppose. But Cannon Cart also going to come in here. It's going to target those Zappies. Not quite range, I believe, it gets taken out. But let's see. The Inferno Tower actually locking onto the cannon first. Not ideal, but is going to get onto that Golem now. Nice zap to try to stop it, but still going to take it out.
Right, so the Golemites are out. They're going to take down that Inferno Tower. They might be able to get close enough to just get a swipe or 2. No! But their explosion damage does do a little bit, and that cannon cart did not get close enough to damage the tower. So Poison and Miner come down from GameWith.
That was pretty cool. I was looking over at Ten God. He's actually counting on his fingers, you know, what cards they've used so that they know, okay, how much elixir should they be at right now? Should we go for the Golem push right away? It seemed like the answer was yes, but a giant skeleton going to come in here and try to stop the push.
Yeah, so it seems like GameWith is sticking with about the same strategy they did last game. The only big change we've seen so far is that Inferno Tower, which was a nice pick to help deal with the Golem there. So a good prediction from GameWith as to what Ponos Esports would bring here in the second game.
Good idea. We got our second Golem actually coming on in here after that. Probably just one Inferno Tower was taken, but oh boy, the second Golem is going to be taken out real fast by that Inferno Tower. Kind of unfortunate, as tons of value coming out from that 1/5 Elixir card.
Yeah, GameWith has a really solid defense this round, and they're just slowly chipping down that left side Princess Tower of Ponos. They've got it under 1,000 now. They've been able to send a miner and then maybe a poison or another spell at it and just whittle it down. So now Ponos has to switch sides.
Forced to send the Golem here onto the left side. Very similar defense coming on in with the Giant Skeleton, and all the while just chipping away at that left side. Timing's going to line up pretty well here. Should go into overtime, but they can have another miner poison combo. Probably should take it out on the next one.
Yeah, they're poisoning and fireballing that Inferno Tower. They need it to be down. Now they're probably going to try to throw another Golem behind here, maybe? Oh, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think they can. Those Golems are just getting mowed down.
Not quite. Tried for the cannon cart play on the right side, but did not work out. There's the miner and the fireball log as well. Gonna chip it down. They even have a giant snowball just to make it, and there will come in the poison. I believe that should be enough. It's gonna be pretty close.
It's gonna be really, really close here. Will it get done? There it is.
Poison able to take it out, and the double goblin not able to push back, so they do tie it up here in game number 2. Do GameWith. Good response. You know, you were talking about that Inferno Tower did a huge job against the Golem decks.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a really smart prediction by GameWith there to know that that was going to, you know, kind of be what Ponos would probably try to pull out of their pocket next. Because you're not going to pull out an Inferno Tower to take down a giant skeleton. You're just not going to get, you know, it's just not worth it.
Yeah. So would expect Nick and Boy on 10 God to mix things up, and well, looks like perhaps we're switching decks on the sides as Giant Skeleton Barrel is going up against Goblin, or rather, Golem Beatdown.
Yeah, I think this is a smart play by Ponos to go back to this Skeleton Barrel. It did a little bit of damage and at least distracted enough for them to kind of get in there and chip damage in game 1. So they're going back to the Magic Archer as well. Ooh, a miner onto that Magic Archer, but GameWith Golem is getting in there now.
Miner actually able to take it out, but look at the Skeleton is going to eventually clean up that push. This Inferno Dragon from the side of GameWith has gotten so much value so far.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I was watching that Inferno Dragon. He was alive for a very, very long time. Lumberjack not going to be able to get through there. The Mega Minion takes him down. Another Skeleton Barrel coming here. Ooh, the Mega Minion hitting the Skeleton Barrel early. Ooh, they'll be able to get that. Okay, a nice fireball there.
That was really good placement by the Skeleton Barrel. Puts it in and puts it in front, rather, to make sure that it soaked up some of the damage.
Yeah, so far, GameWith a little bit ahead here. They've, not by much, just about 100 Princess Tower damage on the left one that they're ahead on. But Ponos Esports right-hand Princess Tower hasn't taken a shred of damage, so they're split pushing this time.
Double Golem, I suppose, and everything else going to come out here. That really good snowball, actually, to knock it back and allow that Golem to get a little bit closer, but still the Tombstone going to take it out to pretty much prevent all of that damage. The right side Golem, though, is going to get pretty close. Don't have a Tombstone for that one.
Right. These Inferno Dragons for GameWith are getting so
Look at the left side
value.
Look at that value. Oh, man, it should be able to take it out just like that. The one Inferno Dragon gets in line. They spent everything to try to stop the right side Golem, that they couldn't stop the Inferno Dragon.
Yeah, this split push from GameWith proving super effective. They're still getting damage onto the right-hand Princess Tower, and they were able to completely take down the left-hand Princess Tower.
Take a look at that. They actually blocked the Lumberjack with the Golem to make sure that it didn't take damage from the poison. Really, really cool idea.
Yeah. Keeping those units behind the Golem is a really like valuable strategy if you want to play that card. Like the Night Witch and other cards get stuck behind it because they're not big enough to push through it, and they won't go around it because they're not fast enough.
Pretty strong push coming in here, but it doesn't look like there's enough time for the side of Ponos Esports to knock down a Princess Tower, even with that freeze right towards the end. You're a little late on that one, and that's going to do it. 2-1 victory goes to GameWith.
Yeah, GameWith taking it back after losing the first game, kind of using Ponos' own strategy against them there in the last game with the Golem beatdown, making it more effective than what Ponos was able to do with it.
Yeah, definitely like the play there from GameWith, showing the tenacity to come back in that one, and really good deck choice, I would say. You know, it seemed like they always had the cards that were ready to counter what Ponos Esports had coming in, so kind of had their number in that matchup.
Yeah, definitely. After the first game, it seemed like maybe there was just some miscues, a little bit of a mistake in the first game as well to not get that right-hand Princess Tower, clean it up in the next 2 games. They were able to very, very handily take care of Ponos in those last 2 games.
That's definitely a really good sign for them as well going into the second matchup, the 1v1 between Shun and Reiki Jones, because as I was saying, a lot of it is going to come down to what their read on the meta is, if they can get their read on their opponent's decks and what they're going to play, what they're going to bring out. It's going to help them a ton, especially for the 1v1. So, speaking of which, we are going to introduce our players for the 1v1.
Yeah, Reiki Jones, he dyed his hair for this season.
Nice.
He's got a nice blondish, brownish color going there. Looks good on him. I like it. I believe he banned the Lava Hound. And this is our other player, Shun, who banned P.E.K.K.A. Now, banning P.E.K.K.A. can mean a couple things, right? Like you said earlier, it could mean Golem. It could also mean something else. Royal Giant. Yeah,
Royal Giant Sparky, the paper thin deck. It's going to come on in. I'm looking forward to it.
But there's still a lot of options here. You know, you could definitely do a cycle deck. An Expo deck is very possible here. There's no reason you couldn't go for that because P.E.K.K.A. does do pretty well against it. Giant, you could do a Giant double Prince deck here. There's a lot of options still available to both players.
Yeah. Taking a look at the favorite cards, Elixir Collector here for Reiki Jones and the Lava Hound on the side of Shun. It's definitely part of the reason why it was banned out here by Reiki Jones. I love the energy those guys have on Ponos Esports, just, you know, holding up the clipboard for each other, saying this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. Lots of smiles around Clash Royale. Just a fun, happy game in general.
They're a fun team. They have a really good time, and they're very positive. Their coach is Mikan Buya. He's kind of the coach and the team captain, so he does a really good job keeping things light and fun. You can always tell they're having a really good time. But Zappy's coming down here for Reiki Jones to begin with, and a Mega Minion for Shun.
Just 2 very common cards that we see nowadays. There are the Hogs. That's what I was waiting for, but all placed on the one side means Fireball should clean up the majority of them, but still able to get a nice amount of chip damage onto that left side Princess Tower.
Right, so we're going to see some kind of, you know, Royal Hog cycle, a Baby Dragon coming down for Shun. So this could be a lot of things for Shun. He could still have a Golem sitting in his pocket, especially because he just played the cannon card. I mean, that could very well be a Golem that we're going to see behind her. If we see a Night Witch, then it's like basically confirmed.
Yeah. That's going to come in here. Not sure if they're going to be able to knock this down out of range. Yeah, they're going to have to commit to the Sparkies.
Okay, a Valkyrie here. So probably not the Golem deck necessarily, unless it's a different one I've seen before. Tornado here to get those Hogs onto the King Tower.
Yeah, we saw this yesterday where it does get that King Tower going, but still just the Tornado's not enough to stop it. Look at the cannon card is going to do that extra damage. So much chip damage from Reiki Jones so far, but still that King Tower being available is pretty nice.
Yeah, Reiki getting a lot of damage done here on both towers. Forced to use the Valkyrie to defend the cannon cart push here.
Now, still no reveal on the final 2 cards here from Shun. That's what I'm really curious about. So far, it's some kind of just strong card deck with the cannon carts.
It could be something like Mortar. I mean, that's possible. It could. I feel like it's Expo, but I don't know.
There it is.
The
You
Golem.
called it.
It was the Golem. Okay,
Yeah.
He had me confused there when he had the Valkyrie in there, but maybe he sniffed out the Royal Hogs, because the Valkyrie's a great counter to the Royal Hogs.
Yeah. Hog's going to get in range there on the right side and do the damage, but with just 1 minute left, this is what it's designed to do. Go and get that final push and end the game. Not sure if he can, though. The Inferno Dragon is going to be fantastic up against this.
Yeah, that poison's going to get a little old, but that tornado to drag it into the poison, so huge there for Shun.
Really nice, and look at that. You can see the cannon cart just barely comes in for the defense, but we'll see if he can get any more chip damage done. That cannon cart for defense was so crucial.
This right-hand tower is in such trouble. A nice fireball there from Reiki Jones.
Boy.
Will it be able to be enough? So close, one more hit. Oh,
well,
he got
18
it.
is enough for the zap, so he is going to be able to take it down. Unfortunately, just good timing there up against Shun. Reiki Jones really happy with that play. He saw the Golem and immediately responded with the Royal Hogs. That's part of what you can do.
Right.
If you are going up against that type of deck. So let's see how these two players changed up their decks.
Yeah, Shun just had a hard time playing defense in the beginning while he was trying to hide his Golem, the fact that that was going to be his last card. And that Valkyrie definitely made it a little more confusing probably for Reiki Jones. But in the end, Reiki had done enough damage early on that he was able to follow through with a split push and finish the job.
So far, a couple of the cards we've already seen from both of the players, so we might just be seeing the same decks here. The Royal Hog's going to come in on the left side. This time he's brought a log with him.
Okay, a log. Yep, definitely a nice little change of pace there, but we're still getting a ton of damage from those Royal Hogs and the Zappy.
Yeah, that's just already going to chunk down over 900 health onto that left side. Definitely a pretty fantastic start. The Night Witch comes out, and, well, we should definitely expect that Golem to come in as well.
Yep, absolutely. Changing it up just a little bit. Night Witch and Log switched in this time. Going to be able to take down that Inferno Dragon, but these bats really won't be able to get in and do any damage. A cart comes down for Reiki Jones. Shun countering with a Mega Minion.
Just waiting for the 1 minute mark, probably to drop down the Golem. Not going to go for it just yet. Lots of elixir saved up here by the side of Reiki Jones.
Ooh, a nice zap there to keep the cannon cart from getting into tower range. Really smart zap there from Reiki Jones.
Good defensive play there with the Inferno Dragon and the bats actually behind after the aggro had been taken.
Elixir advantage in Shun's favor right now in terms of what he has available, so opts for the Tornado to take care of the Inferno Dragon. That's a nice little choice there. Doesn't even get any damage done.
One elixir ahead right now is going to play that Night Witch so far. The Royal Hog's going to come out here onto the right side with the cannon cart. He's trying to force a response here, but none taken.
Whoa.
As the Golem comes in. But take a look at that right side. It's taking too much damage.
It's down. What a nice split push there from Reiki Jones. Meanwhile, Shun's just going to have to try to make this push on the left side work 100%. He's going to have to take down this Princess Tower relatively quickly. There's only 40 seconds left.
And he had a pretty good chance until the Inferno Dragon came in. The Sparky's delaying so much time. Good tornado, though. The Baby Dragon doing that AoE damage on top of the Princess Tower. And there's the Fireball. Is going to finally take it out.
Wow, a nice push there from Shun. That tornado, so clutch to bring everything into the Baby Dragon's damage radius. Really smart heads-up play. Split pushing with the Hogs here from Reiki Jones. And if that Valkyrie, oh, it doesn't quite get a swipe.
Not quite able. Take a look at the King Tower on the top side as Reiki Jones taking a massive amount of damage here. Shun trying to go for a push either way onto the right side with that Golem, not going for the King Tower.
Yeah, Reiki's got to find a way to get into this left-hand Princess Tower. He might put something in the pocket here, but a Night Witch dropped. Two Night Witches on that left-hand lane. The Golem gets into the tower, doing some damage. Getting a few hits from the Golemites, but not doing a ton of damage there.
Definitely decent damage overall, chopping it down about 900. And, well, the Inferno Dragon coming in on the right side, but there are the Royal Hogs. He was worried about a Valkyrie in the front, too, but fantastic tornado once again with the log. But a couple of Hogs getting into range with the Valkyrie. It's not enough to take it out, though.
Yeah, a decent little push, did about 400 damage there, but Shun opting to go right for the King Tower down the left-hand lane. Inferno Dragon comes down to try to counter it. Some Bass to distract that Mega Minion. A Fireball coming in,
fireball.
Very nice.
It's going to knock it back. It allows that Golem to get 2 shots now onto the King Tower. It's so close to going down.
Oh, only 116 left. Can Reiki Jones make a comeback? Yeah, it's just a fireball from Shun. He doesn't have it available. He's got to cycle to it. Is there enough time for Reiki to do it? It's going to be so close.
One more card to do it. I believe the tornado comes in with the log, and he needs to throw it out. There's the fireball. He gets it in time. That's not quite enough on the push there from Reiki Jones, who did have a huge smile on his face, even though he did lose. Shun feeling the energy now as he takes the game back.
Yeah, exactly. Shun making some very nice changes to that deck, realizing that Reiki Jones probably wouldn't change it up. He basically stayed with the same thing. Teams are going to take a timeout to talk about this, but going back to it, the Night Witch is a really nice card to have there because it gives him a lot more flexibility to deal with things like those Hogs and the Valkyrie and the other cards that are going to be pushing into his lanes, right? It's a very nice defensive card.
It's a pretty cool deck that he brought in. Let's see if you can put the captain coming over, saying, well, you messed this up. This is how you were bad in that game. Let me teach you the ways of Clash Royale.
So, I know that Reiki Jones really likes the Three Musketeers. So, maybe he might consider pulling that out against a beatdown if they don't have poison or something like that. They can be pretty strong. You know, you use the Elixir Collector. He might try to do a beatdown of his own. But it's hard to imagine Shun going with something that isn't Golem, since that's been his card so far.
Yeah, I definitely feel that as well, especially after getting the win. You're not going to really feel like you need to mix it up. I think he's happy with the couple of cards that he chose to mix it up and counter specifically the Hogs that were coming in. The log is going to be pretty fantastic against that. Instead of the Zap, you can use the Fireball to push back the Inferno Dragon and at least get a couple of hits with your Golem. This timeout, by the way, brought to you by Ponos. They are the ones that did take the timeout here, and see a lot of discussion so far about this.
Yeah, you know, that's a smart idea. You know, you had your deck ready. You were kind of close there in that second game as well. I mean, there was only, what, like 500 hit points left on that last Princess Tower for Shun. So here we go. We're jumping into the third game to decide this second set here between Ponos and GameWith.
Reiki,
yeah,
kind of talking to himself a little bit as the game went in. I feel like with that little smirk he's got on, I think we might see something pretty cheeky in this one, although the Hogs do come in, so maybe just standard from him.
Okay, so far nothing different between the two of them. The Valkyrie, although those Hogs do get quite a bit of damage there. That's almost, that's almost 700 damage there. Okay, they're going from Shun. He's not even waiting to hide it this time. He's just saying, this is what I'm doing. Come at me, bro.
Not worried about that at all. A couple of zappies on the right side, actually, instead of the left side. That was done by design. We'll see if he goes for any kind of counter push here or just lets those go down.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what he's thinking here. He's got the Inferno Dragon again. Fireball's going to come and knock that Inferno Dragon off. Really nice fireballs from Shun here to protect his Golem from that Inferno Dragon exponential damage. Here come the Royal Hogs with just a Mega Minion to defend this time. That means there's going to be a lot more damage coming from those Royal Hogs in this push.
You can see that the Inferno Dragon on the top side did aggro onto the cannon after the Golem did explode, though. So those little guys, the Golemites, got in there and did a hefty amount of damage themselves, down to about 1145 so far up in the top left side.
Right, some good Zappies defense there. Keeps the Baby Dragon and the Mega Minion from doing any damage to that top Princess turret. Let's see if they get a few zaps in here. Shun's going to let it ride. Yeah, we'll get one, maybe two. Yeah, two.
Yeah.
They don't do a ton of damage. They just tickle a little bit.
Yeah, pretty close game here for game number 3, as no one's going to go ahead and use anything after the Valkyries. I'm very curious to see what else Reiki Jones has up his sleeve. Still 3 cards that haven't been used yet.
Yeah, this is curious. Reiki dropped that Inferno Dragon pretty early before the Golem even came out. Oh my goodness! It turned into the turret, yeah!
Yeah, it aggroed onto the cannon. That's really unfortunate. Now the Magic Archer comes in and he doesn't have a fireball. He's going to chip it down into range of the spells. Huge smile on Reiki's face as he knows he's done a good job there.
Well, he definitely got I wouldn't say lucky, but the timing worked out really well for him
yeah.
that cannon cart turned into the cart at that moment, because that caused that fireball to miss most of the Royal Hog, and he's now able to split push because he's already got that left-hand tower into zap or fireball range or log.
Extra zappies do come in. Good tornado to pull everything into range, but the Inferno Dragon does not die, and with barely any time left over, 8 seconds, fireball comes in from the side of Reiki Jones, and it looks like we're going to be going to our first King of the Hill here for Japan. As very, very close game in the end. Soon does go down. Reiki Jones pulls it back for his team.
Yeah, we're going to see. Giving us a little show there, a little dance. Sometimes when Ten God and Mikan Booya win games, they do the fusion dance from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
So they're pretty funny. But our first King of the Hill in Season 2 of Clash Royale League Asia. We're about to see it.
It's a fun one.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for this one. 3v3. Although it doesn't exist in the game, we make it happen here in Asia. This is King of the Hill, guys, by the way. Just some of the ideas here. The first team to win against 3 opponents wins the set in 1v1s. 3 out of 4 of the players that you have on your team can play. You have 3 minutes to decide the players and the bans, and also 3 minutes of deck making time and 1 minute after each game. So just some rules, as it is the first time here for this Season 2.
Right, so you only get 1 ban per team. It's not like you can ban something each matchup. It's just for the whole thing, there's 1 ban per team.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that falls out. I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited to see some Mikan Booya 1v1.
Yeah.
He'll probably be their last player. They usually save their best player for last in these King of the Hills. We saw that last season when Ponos faced Kingzone Dragon X in a King of the Hill match in the semifinals. Ponos ended up winning that, but they saved Mikan Booya for last, and Expo Master had to slay a lot of the Ponos guys to get to it.
Yeah, very much looking forward to that, as I think a lot of people here also want to see the 1v1 from Mikan Booya, but looks like we're just about ready to hop into this one. We're going to see who is going to be coming out here for the list. It is going to be, as you expected, Mikan Booya down on the bottom right, and we will be seeing Rolaporon and KK actually coming on in.
Whoa, okay, so yeah, this is probably what I expected. I thought Reiki Jones and Mikan Booya would definitely be here. They're their 1v1 experts. So, okay, and here are our ban cards. Ponos not liking that Lava Hound today. They just say, nope, no way, no Lava Hound. And I believe it was Minor?
Yeah,
for GameWith?
yeah.
Interesting. So they don't want to see any of those cycle decks. They don't want to see Mikan Booya's Minor balloon deck that he's very strong at playing. Interesting stuff here.
Yeah. We spoiled the reveal on the bans, by the way, guys. You guys knew about it before it actually showed up. Players just figuring it out, pointing at the Minor and pointing and laughing. So kind of looks like they know something we don't. Happy about that one. Yui Hero going to be coming in for this first 1v1.
Yeah, Yui Hero, he played a couple 1v1s last season. He went 3-3. Not a big fan. He banned Tornado one time in one of his wins, so he doesn't like to see that. Minor getting banned here, though, this time. More of a team decision than anything. But look at those trophies, his top trophies for Rolaporon. 6,922. Woo!
Trying to break the record over here is Rolaporon, I suppose, but we'll see if he can break the record for wins, as it looks like we're ready to go here into game number 1 of our King of the Hill.
Yeah, it should be noted that Rolaporon is a new member for Ponos Esports here. He wasn't on the roster last season, so he's a relatively new guy. We're seeing a lot of that this season, especially because of the new format here in Season 2 of Clash Royale League Asia.
Yeah, a lot of new players that come in and look nervous, make a couple of mistakes. We'll see if Rolaporon can change things up for some of the new younger players. This guy was born in the year 2000, November, so just 18 years old.
And a bold choice here,
I guess, so
far. A bold choice here from him to pick the Barbarian Hut. We saw this card yesterday. It didn't work out.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad, actually.
If you have poison, it's a really, you can get a lot of value out of poisoning that card and the Princess Tower, and maybe even catching another unit with it. And then you only get, maybe 2 spawns of the Barbarians out of that building, and that's just not enough for 7 Elixir.
Yeah. Cannon Cart coming in here with the Valkyrie, trying to get that defense going on here. Cannon Cart, just a very good card nowadays, has a lot of utility on the attack. It's fast, it can get into range and do a lot of chip damage, or you can just have it for defense as it turns into the cannon.
Yeah, Yui Hero looks like he's going with more of a control style deck, going to play a lot of defense here, which is pretty good against a Barbarian Hut deck. You want to just not let these Barbarians get near you, buy some time. We haven't seen any spells come out of Yui Hero yet, or from Rolaporan. Okay, there's a Graveyard and a Poison. Counter poison from Rolaporan. That's Rolaporan's defensive poison. So that Graveyard won't do too much here.
Gonna immediately be taken out with basically no damage being done overall. So far, not much damage in this game either, as both of these players playing very, very controlled.
Yeah, and now we're seeing Rolaporan double up on the Barbarian Huts on the right-hand side. An Ice Wizard to counter, Mega Minion just to cycle through his cards. We haven't seen the last 2 cards from Yui Hero. We saw a Log come out, now his own Graveyard from Rolaporan with the Poison to defend. Oh, they're both playing Graveyard Poison here.
That's one way to get into a game like this. This time the Graveyard on the top side, alongside another defensive Poison. Nobody using both in tandem to actually, combo them together.
Yeah, Rolaporan looking to go for the left-hand side, nothing doing on the right-hand side, and the left-hand Princess turret for Yui Hero is a little weaker, so he's going to want to try to push that one down.
So far, none of these towers have gone below 2,000 health. Might change here on the attack. That one skeleton gets a swipe.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the counter Graveyard, a defensive Poison from Rolaporan there. I don't believe Yui Hero used his own poison there. Both of them dropped their poisons on the bottom left-hand Princess turret earlier. So this is just slowly but surely going in Rolaporan's favor so far.
Those Barbarian Huts just getting a lot of value, as you were talking about, especially as we do get later on in the game and the double elixir comes in. You can just stack those up and make sure you get a ton of Barbarians going down the same lane.
Right, so it's pretty interesting. Yui Hero, the reason he didn't poison those Barbarian Huts early on was to hide the fact that he was playing Graveyard Poison, but unfortunately for him, Rolaporan was playing the same thing, basically just with the Barbarian Hut instead of some other units.
So another Graveyard going to come down here onto the left side, another defensive Poison. Trying to get that Electro Wizard in range, but a good defensive Cannon Cart did come down again.
Yeah, Rolaporan's opted to change lanes here again, feeling like he might need to have a little more defense on the right-hand side as it is getting chipped down just a little bit. This is going to be a very long, drawn-out, dirty battle here.
Yeah. Definitely will. You want to chip away as much as possible at the one Princess Tower, because when it does come down to a tiebreaker, the amount of health on the lowest one will give you the defeat. So do want to survive as much as possible.
Right, here we go. Here comes the Graveyard from Rolaporan. Poison coming down, I believe. Both players poison there. It's so hard to tell when they overlap like that.
Yeah.
It's hard to see the colors there. A lot of damage coming in here from Rolaporan. He kind of knows that he has to keep pressure on both sides.
Take a look at the Barbarian Huts over the top side. There were 3 of them in a row. One on each side. Yeah, Rolaporan just happy with the way that this game is going so far. He's in the lead for now.
Yeah, Yui Hero's going to have to pull something out of his bag of tricks here to get it done. The Graveyard and the defensive poison from Rolaporan coming down, so that Graveyard just isn't going to do a whole lot here. But he did have it looks like there might have been an offensive poison from Yui Hero. It's so hard to tell when those circles overlap like that. But these Cannon Carts are doing a great job of preventing the Barbarian pushes.
This time, once again, looks like a blue poison on the left side. Just a tiny bit of tick damage from the skeletons overall, but the poison doing the job. Same thing up in the top side. It's funny how these 2 young players came in here and picked the same deck up against each other.
Yeah, basically a very similar style, but these Barbarian Huts proving to kind of be the difference right here. Yui Hero's trying to get that damage done so he can win, but the counter poison from Rolaporan, I think that does it.
looks like Yui Hero does lose, I believe, if I understand the rules, because he did have less health onto that left side Princess Tower, but we do have the camera on this guy over here, Rolaporon, so I would have to believe that is the way that it did go down.
Yeah, here we go. Or do they have to redo it?
Okay, I guess we rematch.
A rematch.
Actually. Yeah, this is now the tiebreaker match, so I suppose this is when the tiebreaker rules come into effect.
This is when it matters if the Princess Tower
probably,
is less
yeah.
health.
Well, gonna be curious to see if they play the same decks. So far, can't really tell, but a couple of the cards that we did see in GameWith Roll On, obviously, showing their face again.
Yeah, but this time it's Rolaporon with the Ice Wizard. Of course, the Mega Minion, extremely popular. We see that in just about every deck. So that's it. They just wanted to cycle cards there. Both players not really wanting
That's it. That's the end of the action here, guys.
We're done. Go. Oh, Royal Ghost. And the Graveyard follow-up with it. Let's see how this does. Tornado to keep it off. Poison, defensive poison coming in from Yui Hero.
Gotta like that. Doesn't show too much with that play. Also does get the King Tower to do that. Oh, nice Tornado. Oops.
That was probably a misclick there. Bit of a mistouch.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be too big of a deal here. Just a tombstone coming down, so that's not going to be too big of a deal that he lost that 3 elixir.
Does reveal it, and he, takes a loss in terms of elixir, I suppose, but as you mentioned, not much of an advantage taken with the tombstone. Does mean that he can try to play stuff that would normally get countered by a tornado, and we do see the Golem is going to be going down the left side, but a bowler in response.
Yeah, GameWith really liking these Golem decks today. Here's some defense from the bowler, the Royal Ghost, and an Ice Wizard. Ooh, a nice Tornado here to bring everything into the bowler's range and the Ice Wizard's range and the Royal Ghost range. Remember, the Royal Ghost attack is a bit of an AoE. It's a bit of a cone in front of it, but some damage coming through.
Second Golemite going to get on in there. The Mega Minion getting so much value overall, even a last second hit onto that Electro Wizard up on the top side. Got another push on the left side, but actually a counter push by Rolaporon here. Wants to go heavy onto the right.
Yeah, ooh, a Lumberjack, but a nice Tornado there to keep the Lumberjack off of his E-Wizard. The E-Wizard buying a lot of time for the Royal Ghost to do damage, and the bowler doing some damage there as well. So let's see if he can defend this push. The Golem, that get the Princess Tower?
No.
It does.
Okay.
The Inferno Dragon got the Princess Tower range.
Is able to, but a nice amount of damage either way. Good defense here as well. Comes in towards the end. Positioning on the Electro Wizard especially.
Both these players doing a really good job playing defense.
Yeah.
Like, they are not letting each other get beat at all.
Royal Ghost a little bit confused there, following one of the skeletons over to the right side. But in the end, does get taken out. The Golem push over here by Yui Hero. Now everything's just being dropped onto the left side.
Yeah, double poisons going down. That cannon card is doing so much damage to that bowler. It's doing a lot of damage to that Ice Wizard as well. That cannon card is so good these days. Will that be enough to keep it? Yes, it knocks it into its siege.
Also, Inferno Dragon able to eventually clear everything up here. And once again, just really stellar defense by Rolaporon.
This is wild. This is absolutely wild. I mean, it might be 2 games where neither player takes a Princess Tower in a row. This is absolutely stunning defense. Neither player giving ground.
Well, Ghost gets in there, gets a little extra swipe with
that's big.
A big sliver of health, or a little sliver of health, I should say.
That's really big at this point in the game. Trying another left-hand push. He's countering these, Golem pushes with the bowler, E-Wiz, and Inferno Dragon. No cannon card yet, though, from Yui Hero.
He's desperately trying to get that Inferno Dragon with the Tornado every time. Finally, is able to pull it out of range, but isn't going to matter in the end. Counter Tornado comes in here as well, knocks down the cannon cards into its range. Royal Ghost, fantastic on the defense there as well. But you can see that it actually did a nice amount of chip damage to try to catch up at the top left.
Yep, he's trying the graveyard on the right-hand side with the bowler, but the Mega Minion taking that bowler down. Golem placed on the left, Inferno Dragon in response, a defensive poison from Yui Hero to really limit the damage from that graveyard.
Well, that Golem not able to do all that much. Front one should be able to get in range and actually tap the Princess Tower, though.
Yep, so now he's ahead just a little bit in damage. 1 minute left. This is extremely close again. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's really, really close here. And as we said, guys, the lowest Princess Tower HP, that's the person who's going to lose in this game. And, well, that one skeleton might just be the MVP, the one that was able to get that second swipe on the right side. It's really going to come down to it as these players are just about 28 damage away.
Yeah, you got to play defense until the very last minute and try to time those poisons correctly. It's literally going to come down to the last second unless one of these players does something crazy. But Yui Hero opting to do the offensive poison there after Rolaporan did the defensive one.
Yeah, the defensive one might actually come to bite him in the butt here because he is not able to do it on the right side. Finally is able to cycle into it, but the Golemite's getting into range. It's so close.
Yeah, they were able to get their explosion damage on there, so it's not going to be enough.
Oh,
wow. Yui Hero taking it. Wow.
Really, really close game there as Rolaporan unfortunately does go down for the side of Ponos Esports. A really close game overall between those two players.
They just both played 2 max time games. Jeez. I mean, they're just so defensively strong. I mean, what amazing plays from both of them. Whoa. What a rough game for Rolaporan.
Yeah.
He played his heart out, but just at the very end there, you know, Yui Hero was able to play that offensive poison, and that made the difference.
Yeah, and you have to think, you know, why are they going for these very, very controlled and defensive decks? We're just taking a look here at the different HP that we did see. It did go down to about 1386 or 1306, something like that up in the top left. That is why, of course, our man from GameWith did take the victory, Yui Hero there. But yeah, I mean, if this is the tiebreaker, right, a good controlled deck is going to be pretty nice. But either way, guys, we are going into game number 2. Well, attempting to get into that, but not quite able to just yet. Need to show that it is Reiki Jones, actually, that's playing first. So now that we have revealed that, looks like we're ready to jump into game number 2 right now.
Reiki Jones, a very strong 1v1 player, did very, very well in the playoffs in Season 1. Won the majority of his games. In fact, only lost 3 games in the playoffs. So looks like they're just going to wait. We've got to buy a little time here. See if anyone tries to cycle to something. Okay, Zap and the Fire Spirits.
Interesting decision to zap the Princess Tower when the Fire Spirits come out instead of the Fire Spirits. Probably happened at the same time around. Had to go with the Electro Wizard to actually not take damage.
Yeah, okay. He's just cycling in a log there. Trying to get to the cards he likes. Okay, the Battle Ram. Ooh, and an Inferno Tower coming out here from Yui Hero. Now that's a big change from what he was doing before. The Magic Archer, though, able to range into that, so getting a lot of value there. The Valkyrie to defend the Barbarians.
Yeah, I feel like overall the Inferno Tower, not the best structure if you're trying to defend up against those cards. Really nice Fire Spirit value there, getting both the Bandit and the Magic Archer.
Yeah, super well-timed Fire Spirit there. Way to place that in a spot where they would quickly get to those units before they were finished taking out the Valkyrie. Ooh, and the P.E.K.K.A.
Well, it's a good read with the Inferno Tower, that is. He's able to cycle to it with that log. Electro Wizard not able to get in range because it was blocked by the Mega Minion. So
right.
Even though 2 counters were there to the Inferno Tower, just not able to get in range.
Right, so we know what Reiki Jones is doing here. He's going to do the P.E.K.K.A. Battle Ram split push deck. And okay, here comes the graveyard from Yui Hero. Will it be freeze or poison that he's going to follow this up with? Freeze this time.
It's going to be freeze with the Magic Archer in a really fantastic spot there to clean up most of that. Also went for a zap to help in the clear.
Yeah, really nice Magic Archer placement. That's the unit that I think requires the most precise placement in the game. He is so hard to make him effective, but if you can do it, you can get so much damage.
Goes for the log pretty early. Just wanted to make sure he had damage, but he misses the Sparkies on the backside. Battle Ram here on to the left. Good Magic Archer placement once again. I think he's trying to get up to that P.E.K.K.A now with a lot of kind of electric cards on the right side. Let's see if he goes for it. No, just bandit on the left.
That poison got so much damage done, hitting the Zappies and the Magic Archer and the Electro Wizard. Really well-placed poison there. Battle Ram coming in. Inferno Tower to defend. Gonna get in there a little bit. This time the Magic Archer's got to shoot at a Valkyrie first before he can shoot at the Inferno Tower. We might be going into another very long game here, Valdez.
Yeah, definitely possible. This time, though, the P.E.K.K.A's going to get in there with no Inferno Tower right now to defend. What is going to be the answer here? Finally puts down a Valkyrie. Going to survive for a couple of hits, but the P.E.K.K.A is getting in range. No, the log is able to push it back.
Okay, so this is really nice for Reiki Jones. He's able to get in here with the Battle Ram. Ooh, it just gets taken out by the Fire Spirits. Great job, but they're getting some damage into the tower. Magic Archer as well doing damage now, so big advantage, Reiki Jones.
Yeah, you mentioned the placement of the Magic Archer. A big grimace there from Reiki as he kind of felt that he misplaced it. Got the first shot off, but the subsequent ones were not enough. Lock is late, and actually the Bandit gets in there, gets it down to 941.
Yeah, really nice job there. Here we go, split pushing with that Battle Ram, trying to find a way in here. Valkyrie comes down. It's instantly zapped by the Zappies. A fireball. Yeah, it was a fireball as well.
Yeah.
It shocked me. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Reiki Jones still had one card that we hadn't seen.
Okay, here we go. Let's see if he can get a good freeze off this time around. Is Poison going to come in, actually, as he is not able to get a very effective graveyard off there. Yeah, Fire Spirits and the Log should take care of the Battle Ram.
Yep, Valkyrie there to protect the right-hand tower from the charge from the Bandit. And that Magic Archer just short of the Princess Tower, but now the P.E.K.K.A is pushing in. Ooh, a nice zap on the tower to reset the damage from the laser beam. Some Fire Spirits coming in to try to protect it. It's just one swing, it gets it. How
about a second one? Oh, it raised its arm, but it was too close there. Not able to do it. Good freeze on the defense this time around, but overall, a lot of value there from the P.E.K.K.A and the double Magic Archer. Another swing from the Barbarian, and with the minute left in overtime, Reiki is getting close.
Yeah, Reiki Jones up. He's just got to get one of these towers. He's so far ahead, he really doesn't want to go into that tiebreaker match. He only needs 780 more on the right. The Inferno Tower comes down. Not the optimal target there on the Bandit. The Battle Ram comes down to the left side now as well. He's really trying to push both defensive threes coming in and a Mega Man.
Yeah, this is just Yui Hero trying not to die, but the Magic Archer gets in range on the right side with the Fireball, is able to take it out there. So Reiki Jones able to tie up the score here in our King of the Hill.
Yep. Really nicely done there. We saw that deck yesterday. We're seeing it here again today. The P.E.K.K.A Battle Ram split pushing deck. Really powerful. A nice job by Yui Hero to play some defense there. But again, this time it was just a little too much. Once one of those P.E.K.K.A gets in and does a swing, it's just, forget it.
Always a good feel when you're playing the P.E.K.K.A deck and it gets in range here. But now we're going to take a look at KK. He is going to be the second player here from GameWith. Is going to go up against Reiki Jones, and it looks like we're ready to jump into game number 3 of our King of the Hill.
Yeah, KK more of a 2v2 specialist for GameWith in the previous season. In 1v1s, he went 4-5, so not bad. He won. Let's see, it would have been 1 out of his 3 sets that he played 1v1s in, but he mostly played 2v2 for GameWith.
Goblin Gate going to come out here. It does mean that we should have a bit of a different deck. Bandit in response is always nice because it can clean up and then maybe get a charge on the right side. Forces another response with the zap.
So, okay. Looks like we might be going for a cycle deck here for KK. Opting for a little bit of a quicker deck. We haven't seen anything too different from Reiki Jones from his last deck. So far, we might see that pack. Okay, that is different. There's the cannon cart. Ooh, yep. Yep, this is definitely Psycho from KK.
Yeah, for sure, and you can see that with that big commitment to the right side, the Valkyrie gets in range, actually, on the left, as Fireball had to be used to clean up the Goblin Barrel, but a huge amount of damage. 987 now only left on that top left Princess Tower.
That Valkyrie got so much damage in, and you could kind of see Reiki Jones, he wasn't sure what to do there. He didn't have much of an answer because he had to use the Fireball on that Goblin Barrel, and that's not what you want. That 1 elixir disadvantage is just, it'll add up over time.
Well, we're going to have another P.E.K.K.A coming out here, and, well, saying, okay, I didn't reveal my Giant, but now you've got a good idea. And Minion Horde coming in here. That's a really strong push coming out of KK.
Reiki's got a smile on his face. He was not expecting that.
Yeah.
KK with the shocker here. Everything he had shown before that led us to think it was going to be a cycle deck, when in fact it was a bit of a beatdown deck.
And you can see perfect response here to the P.E.K.K.A. He is just slaughtering him right now. The Dart Goblin able to take it out. This Battle Ram should be able to push in and get that charge, and that it does, but overall, with only a minute left and even losing in terms of his second Princess Tower health, not a good look so far for Reiki Jones.
Yeah, this one's going to be tough to come back from. Here comes the Goblin Barrel. He doesn't have a good answer for it. He has to use the Cannon Cart this time. Minion Horde coming in. He zaps that, so they're not going to do too much here. Can he find an answer? He's going to have to try to get this right-hand Princess Tower down or make one of those split pushes work. Oh, my goodness. What a nice fireball.
So much value on that one. Takes them both out. You could say hands on the face of Reiki as he knows he's pretty much out of this one. The Valkyrie gets in range, able to take out that second Princess Tower. Might just be a 2-0 here in terms of the Princess Towers, as very unexpected cards come out of KK. He's able to sweep up the game with it.
Yeah, great job by him to disguise his deck. It ended up being a hybrid deck, and that really threw Reiki Jones for a loop.
Yeah.
Reiki didn't have much of an answer for the Goblin Barrel. He had Fireball and Zap, but the Fireball is not the card you want to be using on that. Zap's still going to let the Goblin Barrel do some damage to your Princess Tower.
Overall, really good deck from KK. That's what I would expect. The smile came onto the face of Reiki Jones, but now we got our ace coming in here, Mikan Boya. He's going to have to be the one to clean up this King of the Hill. See if he can actually do it.
He's definitely capable. He's a very, very strong player, can play many different kinds of decks. He's very flexible. He doesn't lose very often. He only lost one time last season. So here we go. Game 4 of the King of the Hill starts now.
Here we go. Good game, good luck. GGGL.
Good game. Sometimes I mistap, like I actually want to say good luck, and I say good game, and I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I didn't mean to
offensive
BM you.
GG before the game even starts.
You just see the good in it, and you just want to tap it right away.
Well, I mean, GGGL was a very common thing to say at the beginning of many other games as well, so Mikan Boya learning from that, I suppose.
So far, very similar things here. Ice Golem, Mega Minion, Log. Log coming from Mikan Boya.
Okay.
They both have Log. Now will we see an Ice Spirit? Okay, here comes the Giant. So Mikan Boya going with the Giant beatdown deck. The Cannon Cart in response from KK.
Coming out pretty early here. It is going to get to about the bridge before it does start firing. It's kind of unfortunate, though, because it's really not going to get all that much value. It does stop the Giant and help to get a lot of poison damage onto it, but the rest of it still pushing on in here. The Electro Wizard really helping out in the defense.
Yep, so that Giant's not going to quite get in there. Neither will the Mega Minion. Everything just kind of resets a little bit here. They're both pretty even in Elixir. I guess you've still got that defensive Cannon card if you're Mikan Boya. Hang your hat on that.
Yeah.
But we still haven't seen the last 2 cards from KK, and we're still missing one from Mikan Boya.
Giant Minion Horde, of course.
Oh, here it is. Lumberjack. Okay. So going for, a beatdown deck here. Focused around the Giant with the Lumberjack to come in and give us that little rage spell when he dies this time. Nothing behind him doing. Poison comes down to counter that Cannon card. So a bit of damage there. The Furnace now is one of KK's other cards, so that's interesting.
Hasn't shown that last one, but comes in with the Electro Wizard, makes that cleanup extremely easy. So far, another very close game here with a minute left. Still waiting on the reveal of the final card here from KK.
Yeah, Mikan Booyah split pushing now down the right-hand side lane, dropping that Lumberjack in to get the Rage first. The cart and a Mega Minion coming up behind it. There's the Rage. Can he get anything done with this? That Giant walks a lot faster when he's raged.
Yeah, trying to block it here and get that Mega Minion to not attack it, but a Zap comes in and gets even more damage with the Giant. Mega Minion unfortunately going to hit the cannon here, but should get one extra shot actually. No, not quite towards the end.
A really nice split push from Mikan Booyah. KK answering with the Furnace on the left-hand side. Ooh, and a Graveyard is the last card to come out here from KK.
And the cannon gets in range. That's a huge push coming on in. Mikan Booyah trying to respond on the right side, but the Furnace blocks the Giant, and now only 400 health onto that left side Princess Tower.
That's just 2 poisons for KK to take down that left-hand Princess Tower. So Mikan Booyah is going to have to play aggressively to keep him from allowing KK to use those poisons offensively, but here comes the Graveyard. Surely the poison will be not too far behind.
Look at the Lumberjack on the right side, has to respond to that first and foremost, is going to block it, still gets one shot there. That means that no follow-up after that Graveyard can come in. Still hesitating on using the poison, still a ton of time left over before this game goes out.
Yep, okay, he's opting to push the left-hand lane again here. The Furnace comes down in response immediately. The carts are going to duel each other. Here comes the Lumberjack to try to get in and do some damage. Get that Rage drop for Mikan Booyah.
Die here for quite a while, actually does aggro onto the top side as well, the Ice Golem. And the cannon card on the right side, can it get in range? Yes, it can. There's no defense. The Graveyard on the top left side, but who's going to win? One more shot from the cannon, but no! The Graveyard takes it out, and KK is able to take out Mikan Booyah.
Wow, that came down to the wire there. That
Wow.
cannon cart, one more shot, takes down that tower, but that Graveyard, very nicely timed from KK to get the win in that match. The win for the third set and the win overall in the match for GameWith.
That's a big win. You know, we were kind of expecting Mikan Booyah to come back and at least shake things up, right? I was expecting him to take the win up against KK, and I thought for sure the cannon cart was going to go in, push for the win, but KK decided to get aggressive, knew that there would be less defense on the top left side, and won with the Graveyard. So props to him. Really good decision-making in that couple of games he played.
Yeah, definitely. Really impressive to go up against Mikan Booyah, the ace, arguably the best player here in Clash Royale League Asia. Getting the win, doing a really nice job. A really exciting series. Those teams were so evenly matched, especially in that King of the Hill. That was crazy. Those games were so close.
I mean, that's what we were expecting from the final, but got it here. But we're going to jump to the interview now.
The very last, we were not able to know who was going to win. Yeah, I wasn't sure either. But I was able to have the Graveyard, so I was able to win. The game against Raiki Jones really showed us Giant deck. I was hiding my cards, but I was able to see my cards, opponent's cards, attack cards before, so it was easy for me.
ゲーミーズの KK 選手でした。続いてはマッチ2、ファブゲーミング vs デトネーションゲーミングの模様。
So there you have it.
Very short and sweet there.
Real short one. But yeah, it's good to get the thoughts of KK. You could see that it was the idea where he was hiding that Giant and Minion Horde. But yeah, that was able to get him the win. And guys, we are going to close. We're going to go to a bit of a break here before we go into our second set, which will be Fav Gaming up against Detonation Gaming. We will be right back. Welcome back, guys, to more Clash Royale League Asia here on Valdez with Paper Thin for a second day in a row. We're casting the Japanese matches, the Japanese teams going head-to-head tonight. We had a super close matchup between Ponos and GameWith. It went down to the wire there, down to the King of the Hill, but we're going to jump straight into our second match of the night.
Yeah, Fab Gaming here. Brad, Yakitori, Kensumeshi, Donnie, and Oz here for them. So this is a team that wasn't quite as good as the other Japanese teams last season. They're not bad by any stretch of the imagination. They did well when they started facing teams from other regions, but the Japan region is just so tough, as we're seeing here today. They're really evenly matched. They're all very strong players and very strong teams.
So far, that is what we have seen. They're going to be going up against Detonation Gaming, Lewis, Ku, Tempura, and Pirameki going up today. Got that 2v2 with Lewis and Ku, the 1v1 with Tempura and Pirameki, just in case we need him for another King of the Hill.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we could definitely go there today, especially with the way these games have been going. They have been so tight, so close. We've had very few just absolute blowouts or one-sided games here. Every one of these players is so good and so polished right now. It's a really interesting thing we're seeing. We didn't see this with the Korean teams. We didn't see this with the SEA teams. This is great. This is great Clash Royale.
Yeah, it really is. Gotta love when the seasons start rolling along and players just get better and better. That's when the real competition comes in. I'm excited for another 2v2 here. As you mentioned, Fab Gaming struggled a bit in the last season, so Detonation should be the favorites coming into this one, but we'll see if they've done their research, if they've prepared any more for Season 2 and a bit of a slightly changed meta.
Now, where Fab Gaming can hang their hats on is their 2v2. Rad and Yakitori were the glimmer of hope that they had last season. They went 15-7 in their 2v2 matches, so they played very, very well in 2v2. So this is a team that has a lot of experience together. They almost always ban Tornado, so there's not, you're not going to expect, a different kind of ban here from them. On the other hand here, this is Detonation Gaming. I believe we've got Lewis and Ku. They went 7-5, so a respectable finish for them as well, and then went 4-0 in the playoffs. And I believe they made it to the wild card round.
Yeah, definitely a solid 2v2 matchup here, as you were mentioning. Both of these 2v2 teams very strong. Let's take a look at the bans that we do have. Tornado and Tornado, to the surprise of no one.
Surprise! So pretty much anything you want to do here is in play. And, from either of these teams, who knows what you're going to see. We saw a little bit of Royal Hogs yesterday. Today we've seen some Beatdown. We've seen some Skeleton Giant. We saw a Balloon in there a little bit. So nothing too out of the ordinary here. It says Yakitori really likes the Rocket. We haven't seen that yet. The Mirror, Brad's favorite card. That's a really interesting card. The fact that it raises the level of the creature that you play after it, the card you play after it, makes it a really challenging card to deal with sometimes. Like on a Mega Minion,
yeah,
it makes it like a level, instead of a level 4, it goes to be a level 5.
Especially if they don't have a counter, or if they use their counter rather, and then you just play it again, whatever got countered. You're like, haha, what are you going to do now? Well, guys, we're ready to jump straight into game number 1, flying through today. As it's hard to say that because the first game went to the King of the Hill.
And we had
number 4, but
a tiebreaker in there too. All right, starting off with the Royal Hogs, some bats. Tesla Tower for defense. Tesla Tower's good defense against those Hogs. We saw the Bomb Tower be used as well yesterday for defense against those Hogs.
Good start overall there from the side of Detonation Gaming, but take a look at this.
Whoa.
The Skeleton in the front and the Royal Giant behind.
A Bomb Tower on defense. Bomb Tower is going to do a lot of damage there, but the Skeleton explosion hits both the Inferno Dragon and the Valkyrie, knocks it back a little bit, but the Royal Giant is not able to get any shots onto the Princess Tower. More Royal Hogs. Electro Wizard comes in. Magic Archer there to hit the Electro Wizard.
It's got that range to reach over the river, as you can see. Even got a one-chip shot onto that bottom right Princess Tower. So far, though, need to see a response here to the cannon cart. Comes in, does the Valkyrie.
Yeah, they're just going to keep cycling in these Hogs. The Tesla Tower is great for it. A nice sap to take out those bats. Snowball comes in, doing a little bit of damage from Detonation Gaming. That was a little a little interesting. They were trying to predict something there.
Yeah. Fav Gaming, the two of them, just started laughing after they saw that snowball. They're like, really? Okay.
You can use it.
Yeah.
It's only two elixirs, so you know. Oh, a nice placement on that Valkyrie to keep the miner from hitting the Princess Tower there.
Yeah, you can see how they change up their miner placement just to try to surprise them, but didn't end up working. Mini Pekka really good against the Hogs. One-shots them, as you guys can see on the left side with the poison, and that Magic Archer lining up onto that Princess Tower. Really good placement from the Magic Archer.
Yeah, Magic Archers did a ton of damage. Now they're trying to make this Giant Skeleton Royal Giant push work. Why can't the Giant be in the same place in their names? It's harder to say. Okay, this time the Royal Giant's going to get one shot off, maybe two, just one. So a lot more damage there. But in the meantime, these Hogs doing some damage in the bottom left for Detonation.
Yeah, going to be rough to stop this as well with the follow-up. You can just fireball that down, and in desperation, Tesla trying to hold on, but the push is still coming in.
Oh.
The Hogs are there with the miner, and it looks like devastation on the side of Fav Gaming as they lose their Princess Tower.
Yep, really nice job there by Detonation to just keep the pressure on. 10 seconds left. It looks like Fav Gaming's kind of given up. They've taken their hands off of the devices. So there you go. That's it. Detonation takes the first game.
Yeah, I have to say the key part of that game was when the Magic Archer got so many shots onto that bottom right turret, or rather the tower, I should say. It was really, really nice. But either way, guys, they're going to have another chance here jumping into 2v2. See if Fav Gaming will mix it up. And, well, here comes the Goblin Barrel.
Yeah, we're seeing these Japanese teams really like the Magic Archer. Put it to good use, getting that extra little damage onto the towers. Okay, not too much different here so far. Same kind of start. Hogs, Miner, Tesla Tower to defend. A little bit different. We didn't see the Goblin Gang last game from Fav. So a little bit of a switch up there to try to maybe answer the Hogs a little bit.
Goblin Barrel this time to the left side. Fireball says no. Dark Goblin was very close to getting some damage in, but we'll see how they can respond out of the Hogs and the Valkyrie. Doesn't look like there's a Tesla available. That's going to mean tons of damage coming out, especially on the left side here with the poison.
Yeah, that Hog's still going to town on that tower. That poison just didn't quite do enough damage there. You know, it feels like the poison's a good counter to the Royal Hogs, but if there's only two of them on one side, it's really not that efficient.
That's what makes it a very unique card, in that you can split it up. You know, it's not like a Hog Rider that's going to just run down the one lane. You can send the Hogs all down one lane, or you can split them up and get them in there real fast.
Yep. Nice log there to counter the barrel. So nothing doing. A Tesla Tower preemptively put down for defense here to cycle. Hogs released anyway. Bats get zapped. Another barrel coming down on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, a miner comes in, gets some decent damage. This Hog gets maybe one hit there on that tower.
Yeah, Dark Goblin, nice placement from him, was protected, but now Valkyrie coming in here. Should have another push with the Hogs as well. And actually, the Hogs push the Valkyrie forward so that it doesn't get aggroed by the Ice Goblin.
Yeah, and look at that Archer once again hitting the tower.
Again, and it nearly survives and takes everything out, kills the Dark Goblin. Insane value from the one card.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of cycling these. You know, Fav Gaming is just on the defensive the whole time. They're really not to get anything done. The only damage they've really been able to do is the occasional double bats come down to take out that Goblin Barrel. That's what I was just about to say, the occasional Goblin Barrel and Poison. Doing a little bit of damage, but these Hogs are consistently getting through with a few other cards to back them up, including the Miner.
Yeah, so far, liking the aggression here out of Detonation a little bit better. Good value that time on the Magic Archer, but their own Fireball was missing that earlier on.
Right. Ooh. When you're the Goblin Gang, you get a Valkyrie drop in the menu. It was not a good day. So are they going to be able to get it? Oh, they protect the damage this time. Nice job there by Fav Gaming to protect that left-hand tower, but the right-hand tower takes a little damage.
Yeah, I was scared because they didn't have the Tesla as it just ran out of time, but they were able to do it. This time a very strong push on the left side, though, including a miner. No response. The fireball going to come in, and the miner's getting to work onto that. It's getting super low with the poison, and they should be able to take it out with that Royal Hog just to chip away as well. There it is. Magic Archer also goes in for the alley-oop, and the 2v2 is going to go over to the side of Detonation.
Yeah, really impressive stuff here from Detonation. Lewis and Koo doing a great job with that Magic Archer, giving us a little victory dance there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really cool stuff. They're doing really interesting stuff with the Magic Archer here in Japan. We haven't seen that in SEA or Korea yet. I imagine we might seeing a little bit because you're getting, 200, 300 chip damage from these archers while they're shooting at a Valkyrie or something else that's slowly moving up the lane. So, really fascinating stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a very cheap card, too. You talk about all those other cards that you see in a lot of decks, right? Like a Miner, a Mega Minion, just cards that are very unique and have a lot of different utility to them, right? You can use them on defense if you're going up against a graveyard. It has the very long range to not get frozen or poisoned, right? You can put it behind your King Tower. You can also use it to chip damage away. You can use it to shoot over the river because it has that long range as well. So I think we're definitely going to be seeing that card a little bit more often.
Yeah, definitely. The only real weakness is that it has is that it's really, it dies to a fireball.
Yeah.
Unlike Electric Wizard,
Exactly.
Some of the other wizards, so to speak, they don't die to a fireball. A Magic Archer will die straight out. So going back here, we're moving on to the 1v1 now. It will be Kentsumeshi versus Tempura.
Interested to see what they bring into the 1v1 matchup. If they can force another King of the Hill, it's going to be up to Kentsumeshi. See him over here. Looking ready to go. I like the earring. He's got some good style going on.
It's looking good.
Yeah.
Japanese players definitely a little more creative with their hairstyles and some other things. And here are our bands. All right, so the balloon going down and the mortar for Tempura. Tempura doesn't like the mortar. I don't blame him. It's not fun to play against sometimes.
Yeah, definitely true. Let's take a look over here at Kentsumeshi. His favorite card is the Golem. We did see him ban the balloon. It's definitely hard to get follow-up defense if you place a Golem and then balloon gets placed right away with something else, right? So definitely feel like we should be seeing some Golem play out of him.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. We could definitely see something like that. He also just might not like to have a lot of air defense cards. He doesn't want to be forced to use something like Musketeer. But game one starting. Let's see how they do. Good luck. Thumbs up. Let's go. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, are they gonna? We're just okay. There's a tombstone. Like, if we're gonna see anything, it's like a tombstone or a Mega Minion that always comes out first. We just kind of sit here and twiddle our thumbs a little bit. Here comes the cart.
Yeah.
Just gonna knock out those skeletons before the Princess Tower can't kill stealing. There is the cart.
This is a response with the Valkyrie after the log does get used. Nice strong push coming in now, but a response with the poison to deal with the graveyard.
Yep, so both players trying to get something done. Not much doing.
Okay.
Ooh, not quite. Yeah, it looks like one skeleton got a jab in there on the bottom left Princess Tower.
Yeah.
But that's it. Both playing Ice Wizard. So we're seeing a lot of very similar decks out of these Japanese players. They're loving the graveyard. Okay, here comes a Miner. So a little bit different here for Kentsumeshi.
Yeah, so far kind of looking like what we saw in the King of the Hill the last time around. But gets his own cannon cart in there for some defense. Unfortunately, not in range of the Princess Tower. Just going to trade cannon carts here.
Yep, those skeletons, as per usual, just there to kind of buy time and let the tombstone be a defensive card if they have something like a giant or anything like that, a P.E.K.K.A. You could see a P.E.K.K.A. here. It's still very possible.
The minions get played, so that's the second to last card on the side of Kentsumeshi.
curious to see what Ken Smeshi has for us in the hole here. Could be a lot of different things. It could be Graveyard. That's what I feel like it's gonna be, because that's what we've seen so many times in 1v1 here.
Yeah, definitely get those vibes.
Yeah.
Graveyard, something of the sort.
We still have 2 cards from Tempura to see yet still. Is it gonna be a poison? Is it gonna be a freeze? Does he have a big to follow up from the Graveyard? We saw a bowler earlier, something like that. Okay, Cannon Cards just trading here. Ice Wizards just trading. Very, very similar decks here, so nobody really able to get too much of a push. This Miner's really been the difference so far for Ken Smeshi.
Miss on that Tombstone, actually not able to aggro the Miner overall. The Graveyard comes in on the left side, countered by that poison after all.
Yeah, so 1 or 2 skeletons will get a hit here from the poison. Just 1. That's usually about what happens on a poison from the Graveyard.
Yeah. Still no reveal on those cards as we go into overtime.
Yeah, neither player has played them. This is quite interesting. I mean, we're into sudden death already, so we've been in double elixir for a minute, and neither player has been willing to take the risk to show that last card.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like the pressure is on Tempura, right? Especially with that chip damage constantly happening up in the top right with the Miner. Really hasn't been able to get too much done. Gets a nice bit of chip damage on the left side, but still no reveal, as I mentioned. I would like to see him just go ahead and reveal them and try to go for a surprise push.
Yeah, I'm with you. He's behind a little bit, not a lot, but he needs to find some way to deal with this Miner or just make a push of his own that's stronger. Because that Miner is getting, 150, 200, maybe even 300 if it's left alone damage each time it's dropped.
Cannon cart onto the left side now by Ken Smeshi. There was a time to go for your secret freeze with the Graveyard. He could have used it onto that cannon card, but deciding against it, really high value poison up on the top right side here by Ken Smeshi.
Yeah, Ken Smeshi sensing a little bit of blood here. He's going for the tower now. He poisoned and logged it, thinking he can defend this.
Tornado.
Okay, tornado. Both players were hiding a tornado.
Well, that's one way to do it.
So Ken Smeshi pretty far ahead here. Tempura, you can see he's a little dejected, realizing that it's maybe just a matter of time at this point. He has 1 more card though. Just not sure what it is.
Yeah, maybe he's not sure either. Can't seem to find the button. As I understand why the tornadoes hadn't been used before, especially with the counters coming in the form of other cards. But
I mean, I feel like it's poison or freeze. That's what my gut tells me.
Yeah, especially with only Graveyard Tornado as your spells.
Yeah, so a nice little control deck from Ken Smeshi here to keep him from taking damage from those Graveyards. Able to just slowly chip down with the Miner and poison again. I believe that should be all she wrote. Ken Smeshi takes game 1 for Fab Gaming.
Bit of a flex there from Ken Smeshi. Happy he was able to win that one. Never got to see that last card.
No.
Just did not reveal it. And, well, I suppose he can reveal it in game 2 if he's going to play a similar deck this time around. Yeah,
they're just playing such similar decks here. I mean, the only difference that time was that Ken Smeshi didn't play a Graveyard. Everything else was pretty similar between their 2 decks. I mean, they just got that Cannon Cart. We've seen Cannon Cart in almost every deck so far today. So they're really favoring that card. I mean, it does have a ton of value. You can get it over the bridge. It's very strong because it has that second mode, in that second form. So really interesting. We're taking a timeout. I'm going to go ahead and assume this is Tempura's timeout.
Yeah. Decided Detonation taking this timeout. You got the clipboard out with your 1 sheet of paper. Tore that one out of a spiral notebook. You guys can tell. Get a little massage here, as you said it best. He was actually looking pretty dejected after game number 1. Put in the crying emoji as well.
Yeah.
Kind of felt bad for the guy, but he's got a chance here to prove us that he can actually bring it back, as we're going to jump into game number 2 right now.
Oh, there we go. We get the good luck this time. No accidental good game.
Yeah.
We got the We got the emotes properly microed there.
Yeah.
A zap to take down the Ice Spirit. Ooh, a Hog Rider. Here we go. That's something we haven't seen in a while. Lumberjack to counter, so Hog Rider gets 2 hits in there. Not a bad start there for Tempura.
Definitely a bit of a mix-up here. The Lumberjack able to get on in and get the 1 swipe onto the Witch, but overall, not very effective, I would have to say.
There's that Magic Archer. Ooh, a Fireball coming in, takes him out. Very well-timed Fireball there. Will this Ice Golem get close enough to take out the Witch? Oh, it just does.
Roller Ghost coming out here as well.
Furnace. Okay, so looking like more of a Hog Cycle deck so far. Fireball there to do some damage to the Furnace. Oh, a nice Valkyrie placement. Inferno Dragon to counter here. It's going to lock onto the Valkyrie. Ooh, and Tempura drops his own Inferno.
Zap going to be committed to there, but even so, with the Ice Spirit coming in, the Inferno Dragon going to get much better damage done here for Tempura.
Yep, using the Ice Golem to soak up that Inferno Dragon damage. It will be taken out here. Whoa, it does get a couple beams in, though. On that left-hand tower of Kentsumeshi, Hog Rider coming in. He's opting to go with the Lumberjack counter. Ooh, and the Magic Archer that time keeps the Hog Rider from doing more than 1 hit.
Yeah, you can tell that Kentsumeshi, he doesn't really have a good counter for the Hog Rider, right? It's consistently going to get in there and get 1 shot off every single time.
Yeah, you're either throwing down the Lumberjack or the Royal Ghost, and neither one of those is going to quickly deal damage to the Hog Rider.
Yeah.
So the Hog Rider's always going to get 1 or 2 hits unless you're willing to really overcommit on your elixir to take it down.
Yeah, on the opposite side, there's not really much to line up that Magic Archer outside of the Valkyrie. Now an Ice Spirit coming in behind is going to freeze it up. Maybe you can get a second hit here. Ooh, really close. Doesn't matter though, just the 1 hit and the Fireball onto the Magic Archer means that I feel like Tempura just has the better deck here.
Yeah, absolutely. Tempura is just able to kind of out-damage him because of the Hog Rider. Kentsumeshi not really expecting it, doesn't have something that really hard counters the Hog Rider, preventing it from getting a hit or 2 in. All he has is the Lumberjack and the Royal Ghost really to do the melee damage. The Archer is being placed to try to, consistently bring in a little extra damage, but that Fireball from Tempura is really taking it down. Oh boy.
This is going to get 2 hits for sure,
2,
especially with the Zap. 3. Might even be 4 here. Gets the 4th one
goodness.
in the end. It's just a Fireball and a Zap away at this point.
Yeah, I believe you're right. A Fireball and a Zap. Okay, there was the other card from Kentsumeshi, a Battle Ram, trying to split push here, but that Furnace is gonna drag it. The Rage not doing much. He has to zap that Inferno Dragon up in the top left, though.
Yeah, playing it safe. Doesn't really need to just go in there. He still has another Hog Rider. Knows there's pretty much nothing to stop it outside of a Fireball, I suppose.
Okay, it's just outside his zap range, actually.
Yeah.
So now he just has to cycle to another Fireball.
For feeling the love this time around from his teammates as he has secured this win. Really no chance for his enemy Kentsumeshi to bring this one back. Hog Rider and the Fireball gonna come in. Good game is called. We're gonna go down to the wire here in our 1v1.
Yeah, Tempura doing a great job switching it up there. A great call with that Hog Rider. Really understanding that Kentsumeshi probably wouldn't have an answer for it. Even if Kentsumeshi had been running the same deck from the previous game, you don't have a great answer for that Hog Rider. You don't have something cheap like Goblin Gang or something like that to kind of quickly deal damage to the Hog Rider. You're relying on a double drop, right? You're spending 8 elixir to take out 4. You're dropping the Lumberjack and the Magic Archer. So timeout, this time from Kentsumeshi.
Fav, if you guys read Japanese, you're able to see the notes there for just a minute. Get
Next
the
level
inside
strat.
scoop on Fav's strategy. Yeah, I definitely do like the deck choice, as we've talked about there, from Tempura. Question is, though, I think, we're getting another look at the notes here. Kentsumeshi definitely is going to have a good read, and I think he's not going to get clawed out as he did in game number 2.
Yeah, this could definitely go either way. It was a really nice curveball there from Tempura. Will they just go back to playing decks they're comfortable with, maybe the graveyard kind of things? It seems like Kentsumeshi likes the control decks, but here we go. Game 3 starts right now. It's all on the line here for Fob Gaming. And Ken Tsumeshi trying to prevent them from losing this game.
Whenever we go down to the wire here, game number 3 in a best of 3, I feel like the players are a little bit slower to show anything new. So far, it's all stuff we've seen before.
A Furnace and a Valkyrie, so Tempura teasing us that maybe he decided to go with the Hog Cycle deck again. But a Night Witch here from Ken Tsumeshi, and that makes us really think that the Golem could be coming. But here is the Hog from Tempura, split pushing down. The Valkyrie, the only thing he's got, so that's 2 hits there for the Hog Rider.
Yeah, the Night Witch a lot better at damaging it down. Here the Royal Hog's going to come out and tank for that Night Witch on the left side especially.
Nice play here by Ken Tsumeshi. Really surprising stuff. A lot of damage from both of those Hogs coming in. Wow.
Wow. Take a look at the health now. After the Hogs did come in. Hog Rider push on the left side is going to be hard to deal with here, though. Only a Mega Minion is going to come in and get a couple of swipes off. That's 3 hits from the Hog Rider. At least that Witch was aggroed onto the Baby Dragon, or it could have been even worse.
Yeah, absolutely. That Mega Minion proving to be a bit of a hero there. Able to really keep, because that Baby Dragon just does not do enough single target damage. That's an interesting fireball there. Makes sense. I wasn't sure if the damage radius was wide enough of the fireball. I'm like, oh, is that why? Okay, it is.
Yeah. Catches the corner.
So we're still waiting for one more card from both players. It feels like it's going to be the Golem from Ken Tsumeshi. Interesting to see the Golem paired with the Royal Hogs, though. We've never seen that I can remember in the season so far.
Yeah. There it is. The Golem comes in straight when the double elixir comes in, but it doesn't block the Night Witch.
Yeah, a bit of a placement issue there. You want that Night Witch behind the Golem. Zaps coming down, do some damage. The Inferno Dragon is locked onto that Golem, so it's going to get split, but the first Inferno Dragon goes down. He throws down another one. Fireball coming in. Does some decent damage there, but here comes the Hog Rider to counter.
Where's the answer? It's just a Valkyrie. It should be 2 shots. Yeah, there it is. 502 damage going to come out here.
So, yeah, even though Ken Tsumeshi had that really nice split push early on, he hasn't been able to capitalize it since. But let's see if these Hogs can get something done. Nice fireball and and the Ice Spirit.
Yeah.
Great play there.
Baby Dragon locks onto the top left side, makes things a little bit easier, but not a lot of reach here from the side of Ken Tsumeshi, I'd like to say, whereas the Golem gets dropped, the Fireball gonna come in with the zap, looks ahead, 37 health! He needs something else, needs to cycle to a zap. That would be ideal. The Golem, though, is running down the lane in the top left side.
Yeah, he's got to prevent this. He drops the Hog Rider to go. I don't think there's going to be anything to stop the Hog Rider. Good game. Tempura takes game 3 and the set and the match for Detonation.
Yeah, really nicely done there towards the end. The double Hog Rider win going over to the side of Tempura. Accurately reading that he could deal with that. I feel like the main thing that was meant to stop the Hog Rider was the Night Witch damage.
Yeah.
And just drop it straight in, has a little bit of help with the bats, and you can just basically shoot it down, or not shoot it, but poke it down before it gets more than 1 hit. So, but I feel like he wasn't really able to get that into place to help out in the defense too often.
Yeah, it just wasn't ever quite there when he needed it. And those golems really didn't ever quite get to the tower. In fact, it was the Hogs that did most of the damage to those towers and fireballs. So really, it just ended up being more of a defensive card than anything.
Yeah, well, guys, we're going to throw it over to the interview once again. Let's see what one of our members here from Detonation Gaming has to say.
さあ勝利を収めたデトネーションゲーミング、天ぷら選手
Now
で
with
す。
the win,
まずは勝利した今
Detonation.
の
Let's
感
have
想
an
をお
interview
願い
with
します
Tempura.
初
How
戦
was the game?
でやっぱりすごい緊張してたんですけど、
I was very
やっぱり
nervous.
勝ってよかったです。
But I was
こ
able
こ
to
は
win, so
ネ
I'm very
クロマ
happy.
ンサー、そしてオーブンが入ったホグライダーデッキだったんですが、
So there was a
どうい
furnace
った
in
意
your
図で
deck.
このデッキ選択したんでしょう。
So why did you
ケンツメさ
select
んの
it?
デッキをたくさん見て、
So I've
ちょっと研
been
究して
looking at a lot of
このデッキ
decks,
が刺さるなと思って。
and I thought this would be a different
こ
one.
う2ゲーム目、3ゲーム目と、連続の投与でした。
The second game, third game, you had a
やっぱり
consecutive win.
ここでデッキ変えたらなんか負ける気がしちゃうなと
Well,
思った
I
ので、
didn't want to
こ
win.
こは同じデッキで自信のあるデッキで勝負しました。
So I
ありがとうご
selected
ざ
a
いまし
really
た。
tough deck.
勝利したデトネーションゲーミングの、
Congratulations on the
天
win,
ぷら選手でした
Detonation.
続いては、マッチ3に、移りますが、
Yeah, interesting words. We didn't really mention about the furnace, but yeah, something you don't see all too often. Was a cool card he brought in.
Yeah, it was used for some spell bait. But guys, I think we're gonna jump to a commercial break. We'll be back in a little bit.
Welcome back, guys, to more Clash Royale League Asia here. Very quick breaks as we're just about ready to jump into the third match of the night. Will be GameWith up against Fav Gaming. Fav Gaming was pretty close to forcing that the tiebreaker, the King of the Hill that we do have as the third matchup, but was just one game win away.
Yeah, Tempura there doing a good job switching to that Hog deck to prevent that King of the Hill, but we're moving on to our last match of the day. GameWith is joining us again. KK, Shun, Zeros, Amaterasu, and Yui Hiro.
Zeros
today. Zeros. We gotta say it like the Japanese do.
Okay,
Zero.
I can get behind that. Zeros.
It's
Over
not
here.
Zero. It's Zero.
Didn't get a chance to play in game number one, actually.
No.
Match number one. So is going to be playing in our 1v1 tonight for the second matchup that we do have. And speaking of which, this time around, it is going to be the same lineup from Fav Gaming. So Oz, unfortunately, looks happy in the pictures, feeling sad today as he's not going to get a chance to play.
Yeah, poor Oz won't be able to get in there. Danny will be their player in the King of the Hill if they need him. So it'll once again be Rad and Yakitori on the 2v2 and Kensumeshi their 1v1. But Zeros, we saw him for the first time actually in the finals last season. He did a 1v1, was defeated by Reiki Jones. But so they must have some confidence in him to keep him here for another season of Clash Royale Asia.
Yeah, you know, Reiki Jones, really strong player. It's hard to go in there and win against that, especially with all that pressure and the money, the fame on the line in the finals. So we'll see if he can do better here in a regular season matchup, especially up against Fav Gaming, who have been struggling just a little bit here so far.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this. Again, these two for GameWith, Yurihiro, no, we're not doing Yurihiro Yamasu's. We're doing KK and Shun this time.
Yeah, we are.
That's right. Okay, so these two also are pretty strong at 2v2 if I remember. Basically, like the Japanese teams were really good at 2v2. They did
Yeah.
They all have like winning records. I was like looking through the papers before the game today, and I'm like, okay, you have a winning record. You have a winning record. You all have winning records at 2v2.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Pretty good at it.
You know, with the 2v2 matchup here, not going to be the main one, even though it comes first, right? If you go to King of the Hill, it's going to be all 1v1s. So the teams are going to be focusing a lot on 1v1s. But at the end of the day, you do still want to win that 2v2. So if you can practice that a little bit more than some of the other teams that are not going to be practicing it as much, then can help you win. And I feel like the Japanese teams have read into that quite well. And well, here we are. It looks like the Rocket is going to be banned out this time around by GameWith, so no double tornado ban.
Whoa, the Rocket. Okay.
Think about
Whoa.
what the Rocket is good at. The first thing that pops to mind is a Sparky.
Yeah. 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 Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah,
Valdez.
you know? I knew you'd like that one.
Yeah, Rocket is a very hard counter to Sparky. I mean, there's not a ton of other cards that you're looking to... I'm trying to think here, like Rocket. What else? I mean, kind of Bowler, but you don't see that very much. But I'm pretty sure you might be right, man. Oh, I'm hoping you're right. Game 1 starts now.
We're here in the 2v2. Shun and KK playing this time for GameWith up against Rad and Yakitori from the side of Fav Gaming.
Okay, Fire Spirit's coming down early. A Golem. Okay.
Early start on that one. And our two favorite cards, and everybody's two favorite cards, the Mega Minion and the Cannon card, are going to be played in pretty much every deck here today.
Name a more iconic duo.
I know. Valdez and Paper Thin.
That's the sweetest thing anyone's ever said. Poison coming down onto that Tesla tower. The Golem's going to be dragged over to the Tesla. Going to get maybe one hit, but getting a lot of zap there from the Electro Wizard. I don't think the Golemites are going to make it to the tower. Nope. Not quite.
Not even the explosion damage able to help them out. Miner's going to actually aggro this Valkyrie out of range. Needs to drop something else to deal with the Electro Wizard. Gets that cannon card in. Very aggressive play here with the Giant Skeleton and the Royal Giants. The Royal Giant Skeleton.
Yeah, they like this combo. What didn't quite work out for them in the last match, but let's see if they can get it going here. The Royal Giant will get one shot. It gets one shot onto the tower. The bats there doing some damage left over. Inferno Dragon comes down. Flying Machine to counter. A lot of cards being dropped. Cannon, the cart cannon as well. Ooh.
Good poison here too. Lots of value on that one especially. Even onto this Electro Wizard towards the end. So even though the push didn't end up doing too much damage, they're able to fight back and get that elixir value with the poison.
Yeah, I feel like GameWith is hiding something here for double elixir. We haven't seen anything too crazy from them, and right now they're just sitting on, they're just resting on this. So let's see what happens here in double elixir time. Golem comes down in a Mega Minion, not too surprising. Here comes that Giant Skeleton Royal Giant push. Defended by the Valkyrie in the front of the basket. Ooh, good zap.
Oh, this time around they don't have the Tombstone, and so that Royal Giant is going to aggro straight onto that one Princess Tower on the right side, getting a massive amount of damage. Doesn't really seem like GameWith cares too much about it, as they have a really strong push coming on in here. Double Inferno Dragon coming in.
Yeah, nice poison there as well to take out the bats and the guards, so that defended a lot for that Golem to get in. It gets taken into the Golemites, but they're getting some swipes onto the tower now, down to 1,400 hit points.
Yeah, getting a lot of value there. Look at that cannon card comes in, gets 3 shots. The Flying Machine still available, aggroes onto that one tower.
That's big that Flying Machine got that free damage. Okay, this time they've got to have Tombstone available to protect from this Royal Giant. Yes, they do. But will the
Oh,
Royal
no.
Giant get pushed over?
Gets pushed over to the right side, but they do have enough damage to take it out there. The miner and the fireball comes in with the poison, but a very strong push coming the other way. See if they can actually push for the win. The poison trying to take down. One more will do it, and they do get the win.
Wow, Fab Gaming, an impressive match there. Really interesting combo. The fact that that Royal Giant got pushed over to the right side and didn't end up shooting the tombstone, a little bit of a misplacement in my opinion on that tombstone. That should have been further up to guarantee that the Royal Giant would shoot it.
Would have to agree. You can see some dejected looks on the faces of the GameWith duo, as I think they kind of got that idea as well. It's a nice little combination. Rad and Yakitori have shown it 3 times now. All right, I guess at least 2 times, but you got to have some kind of counter to it going into game number 2.
Yeah, and I'm still sitting here wondering what's the deal with the Rocket. I didn't see any cards that they've played that the Rocket would get value over. So here we go, same thing. Giant Skeleton, Royal Giant push, Tombstone up a little bit ahead, but the poison to counter it this time. So the Royal Giant's gonna get a few shots in here. 1, maybe another one, 2, and that Giant Skeleton bomb hit the Golem as well.
Yeah, nice amount of damage here. Golem should be able to be taken out by the Princess Tower and that Tesla. Bring it down real low here. And Cannon Cart stopped in its tracks as well. Bats just to stop the push. At the end of the day, just a bit extra damage going the way of Fab Gaming. This is a great way to start off the night. You guys remember yesterday, OPG Gaming came in and lost a couple of times and lost in the final match. Kind of the same schedule that Fab Gaming have here, but Fab Gaming trying not to fall down to the same fate.
Yeah, exactly correct. Here we go. Giant Skeleton, Royal Giant push coming in. They're going to need that Tombstone down. It doesn't come down. The Royal Giant's already locked onto the tower. Poison comes down as well. This is so much damage going to the bottom right Princess Tower of GameWith.
That bomb from that got so much value, but the push coming in here is going to be pretty close to getting in range, but in the end, just the Golemite's going to come up and begin swiping away at the turret.
The Fireball and the Fire Spirits there did so much damage. That looked like a really scary push from GameWith. Then all of a sudden, the Fireball and the Fire Spirits just wrecked the majority of the cards of that push. Really well timed. Ooh, okay. So a little bit more damage here. Mega Minion goes down.
Good zap to get it going. I feel like just one more combination right before the time runs out with the Royal Giant Skeleton, as I'm calling it, and then a miner or poison, and you should have enough damage to win the game.
Yeah, here we go. Here comes the Royal Giant Skeleton push. This time the Royal Giant's in front of it. It will get aggroed onto the Tombstone, so the Royal Giant's going to go down before it can do any damage to the Princess turret, but the poison's there to chip away as well, and that bomb from the Giant Skeleton does so much damage.
Decide to go for the fireball here onto the cannon cart that was over the river instead of just using it on the bottom right side in tandem with the miner.
Oh, great timing on that E-Wiz to prevent the miner from attacking the Princess Tower. Of course, the E-Wiz, when it zaps something, it changes its targets to whatever is closest, so you can use that against the miner to keep it from doing damage.
Poison damage ticking away here as they're just trying to cycle in. One log is going to get it real close, down to 12 health, but the fireball is going to be able to clean it up. That's a clean 2-0 victory by Fab Gaming, coming in and redeeming themselves after their loss in the second match.
I'm perplexed by 2 things in that match. No discredit to Rad and Yakitori. They played very, very well. Fab Gaming, I love that setup they have. I've never seen anything quite like that with the Giant Skeleton and the Royal Giant.
Yeah.
The timing is really cool on that. But I'm a little confused what GameWith was doing there. They basically played the exact same deck 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
And they banned Rocket for reasons that I can't quite figure out.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the cards that were in their deck that Rocket gets value against. It's not good against Golem. It's not good against the Cannon Cart. It's not good against Valkyrie. There's nothing in there that was worth rocketing.
I guess they felt like perhaps kind of cycle or chip damage deck
It could be.
that could be good against their Golem
That's a
deck
good
would
point.
be the idea behind that one. But again, you ban the Rocket, you're going up against Fireball Poison anyway. So is it the best idea?
Yeah.
Perhaps not. But you could kind of think about why they were thinking about that type of ban. But either way, guys, we're going to jump straight into the best of, or rather the 1v1 here in the second match. It is going to be Kensumeshi once again trying to get this win for Valve Gaming.
Yeah, Zeros again, a relatively new player. We only got to see him at the very end of Season 1 of Clash Royale League Asia. Kensumeshi looking not too bad in match 2. He won one game, lost the next 2 to Tempura, who had that awesome hog cycle. Here we go. Ooh, here are the bans. Okay, Royal Hogs banned. But first, the cannon cart banned as well.
Yeah.
So we're finally seeing the cannon cart get banned. It's been abused today.
Yeah. I definitely have to say that we're seeing a lot of very, very similar decks from the Japanese teams where they just bring in the cannon cart, the Mega Minion, Poison, Valkyrie. It feels like those 4 cards are just in pretty much every deck so far. So I don't mind banning it out.
Yeah.
It's just a really fantastic card right now. If you don't want to deal with it, you don't want to run it yourself, go ahead and ban it away.
Right, banning the Royal Hogs just probably to kind of prevent something he saw in some of those other games, you know, where you can split push and do a lot of damage, or maybe just to prevent himself from trying to do that again. I think he lost one of those. No, it wasn't him. It was somebody else that had a game where they used the Royal Hogs and lost.
Well, either way, not going to be seeing those Royal Hogs here. Thanks, says Kensumeshi with a thumbs up. And you mentioned it before, Zero's more of a newer player. Saw that he looked a little bit nervous, actually, when he was on the camera. Not used to the spotlight all just yet, but
yeah.
Either way, we'll see if he can pull that back together, because Kensumeshi himself looking like a pretty confident guy.
Yeah, okay, so very different deck coming from Kensumeshi here. The Goblins and an Executioner. Really interesting. At first I thought this might be Spellbait with the Goblins, but the Executioner, a little bit of a wrinkle in that plan. Okay, here comes the Hog Rider. It's a Hog Cycle from Kensumeshi. He saw it, he didn't like it, but the Tornado pulls it in and activates the King Tower for Zeros.
I think it's 3 swipes, but the most important thing is that it did get pulled in. And here we go now. It's going to be Graveyard Poison. Tornado to just try to pull that away. In the defense there was Kensumeshi, but a healthy amount of damage done already to that top left Princess Tower.
Yep, a nice timing on that Graveyard Poison. There wasn't a lot Kensumeshi could do about it. He had burned a lot of his elixir trying to push through to that right-hand lane with the Hog. All he had was the Inferno Dragon there, and then the Tornado as well from Zeros to protect that push. All right, here we go. Hog Rider coming down. The E-Wiz to defend it. E-Wiz isn't too bad at defending the Hog. It usually lets it get 1 or 2 swipes in, depending on where you drop it.
Faster than the Valkyrie too, can push it in, but at the end of the day, the Valkyrie value is going to go the way of Kensumeshi. Takes them both out with the help of Fire Spirit. Roller on the right side is going to get 2 boulders into that Princess Tower. The lead currently still in Zeros' favor.
Where does he get those boulders from? They just like, it's like he's got this magic boulder that just spawns in his hand every time.
Comes from the sky like the lava.
Yeah.
Comes from heaven. He's blessed.
All right, a fireball comes. Oh, that doesn't hit anything. Kensumeshi missing big time with that fireball. Oh no, that's going to be a big push here from Zeros. Graveyard's going to come in. Poison might come down relatively soon after. The Tornado preventing the Hog from doing much of anything. A lot of damage coming in here for Zeros.
Yeah, a really big push for him, but a bit of a mistake there from Kensumeshi. Also went for the follow-up Hog on the right side, so he had even less of a defense. Only got the 1 swipe. He's going to go for it once again here. Valkyrie not the best on the defense.
Yeah, it allows the Hog to get two swipes in. That's pretty much what you expect out of it. But these Graveyard Poisons are going to do so much. Well, no poison this time. Okay. Didn't feel like he needed it. Saving the elixir. Trying to play a little cautious. Another big push coming in here. Yeah, okay, the Valkyrie in front of it's going to soak up that Inferno Dragon damage.
Good Tornado, though, is going to pull it both in. Gets the slow from the Ice Wizard, and actually no damage comes out from the Hog that time around. The Hog Rider, I should say.
Yeah, he's got a lot of defense for it, so it's very nice. You can keep it off those towers with the Tornado and the E-Wiz. A lot of damage this time. This time the Graveyard Poison comes down, and that is a lot of damage.
Really close. Yeah, just needs one more poison. Strong push still coming in here with the hog, but the one tornado is going to be enough to just clean all that up. Oh, the Executioner going to get a couple of swipes there.
Okay, the fireball, he's got a log. It's just not going to be enough. Once that poison comes down, he can't even fireball that tower.
There it is. Cycles to it, Zeros. We'll see if the hog can get in there and actually do any damage. No, that's not going to be able to do it. So Kensumeshi losing again here in game number 1. Zeros does pull out the victory here in game 1.
Yeah, Kensumeshi, I don't know, maybe playing a deck he's a little bit less familiar with, but those tornadoes are actually the big decider there. The tornadoes from Zeros, not something you would actually necessarily expect from a graveyard poison deck, to have the tornado in there.
Well, I would expect something different here from Kensumeshi. We generally see that once your deck doesn't win, and yep, we are going to see the Miner play come out here. Good counter already, though.
Yep, perfectly placed Valkyrie. No damage on the tower by the Miner. So nice little trade there. Minions coming in as well here. So this could be interesting for Kensumeshi. You can do that trick with the Miner and the Minions where you throw the Miner in front of the Minions. That way it protects the Minions from getting shot at by the Princess Tower. Okay, Graveyard once again. Nothing different so far from Zeros. But that Royal Ghost is going to get a hit onto the tower. Now it's fighting the Bowler. Miner in there as well. Not much doing in the top left.
Good tornado once again. It's the same deck here from the side of Zeros. It's going to get the aggro onto that King Tower already. No response, just hit. Okay, finally puts out that Valkyrie. Yeah, defense.
Kensumeshi's waiting for the moment to drop his P.E.K.K.A. There is 99% of P.E.K.K.A. sitting in one of those two cards.
Yeah.
I've seen this deck. One of my clanmates runs this deck all the time, and I wouldn't be surprised. It could even be Lightning and P.E.K.K.A. sitting in the hole. Or there could be a lot of other cards.
Pushing forward, good defense actually with the double wizard combination. Even going to get another hit with the Electro. Nice wizard going to get a couple up in the top left.
Yeah, Kensumeshi happy to let that damage come in. He's trying to find the right moment to make his, appearance with his extra card. Zeros has about exactly the same thing he's been running. There's the P.E.K.K.A. That last card, though, I'm curious to see what it is. I suspect Lightning, but I could be wrong. Poison, okay.
Poison going to be good on the defense this time on the Graveyard. Not a lot of damage going on to the Bowler, though. It's just that one Princess Tower. Trying to go for a bit of a split push here. Royal Ghost on the left side. Try to stop. He has a lot of stuff to stop the Inferno Dragon. Yep. This Electro Wizard and the Zap.
Yeah, that Tornado, though, is going to get rid of the Electro Wizard. The Poison and the Tornado doing a lot of damage, so now that P.E.K.K.A. isn't going to make it to the tower.
Didn't see him zap that time around. I suppose either I missed it or he wasn't able to fit it into his play. Had to defend on the left side at the same time. So pushing on in now, defends with his own Miner.
Yeah, okay. Miner coming in straight down the lane. You don't see that too.
Yeah.
Gets a few shovels in there. All right, the Royal Ghost. The Royal Ghost swipes are landing on the tower as well on the Bowler, but the Bowler takes it down with relative ease. Here comes the Electro Wizard, here comes the Poison. I wouldn't be surprised to possibly see the Tornado follow up here. Not this time.
Miner really wants to take out the Electro Wizard. It does. A couple of shots now onto that Valkyrie, but again, needs to take out that Dragon, but he can't quite do it. The P.E.K.K.A. not really getting the value he wants.
Yeah, he's just not able to quite get that P.E.K.K.A. through. The Tornado and the Poison able to keep the E-Wiz from doing its thing from stunning the Inferno Dragon. The Royal Ghost is getting countered by the Bowler quite well.
So Poison, everything was there on the bridge. This is going to force a response too by that Ice Wizard that does come out. Bit of what looks like an elixir lead here for Kensumeshi. Should be able to stop this Graveyard relatively easily as well.
Oh!
Okay, interesting Tornado in the end. Wants to get that Valkyrie in range for one swipe, and that it will.
Yeah, a nice Tornado there. Another push coming in. The Poison coming through. The Poison does so much damage to the Electro Wizard. And then he can tornado it as well, which does a little bit of damage. Ooh, a split push with Pekka's here, though.
Yeah, the Electro Wizard also was pulled. Actually, it ran far enough to get away from the poison. This is a really strong push. Double Pekka running right down the middle.
This is so scary for Zeros. There's two of them there. An Electro Wizard, though, will buy him some time. Might even drag it.
Left side push. Look at that damage to Pekka, nearly getting in range too. It's chipping away. Now down to 400, now 200 health. One more swipe will do it with the Royal Ghost, and the split push is enough to get Ken Sumeshi on the board.
Whoa! Great play there by Ken Sumeshi to get the two Pekkas going at the same time. And like you mentioned, it was huge that Ewiz got out of range of that poison. It allowed him to survive and keep the Inferno Dragons from doing their thing, taking down the Pekka. Whoa! Great stuff there.
Yeah, it was a very fortunate end of the game for Ken Sumeshi. It wasn't looking good for him after that first game especially. Looks like one of these teams is taking a timeout, probably the side of GameWith, just to talk to Zeros a bit after that loss.
Yeah, I feel like Zeros, even though that deck is really strong and he's really good with it, the Graveyard Poison Bowler thing he's got going there, I like it, but I don't know if he can do it a third time.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting question. Does he just go with what he looks good with, as you're mentioning? I feel like after watching that Pekka split push and just seeing what Ken Sumeshi did outside of a couple of mistakes, if he doesn't make those mistakes, I feel like Ken Sumeshi's deck is going to be favored every time. But we'll see what he decides to go with. We're not going to have to guess, and things are pretty fast here in Japan, just moving straight forward. Good luck is called. I'm curious to see what decks were chosen.
Yeah, will Zeros kind of go with what he knows? Okay, and Ken Sumeshi might be thinking the same thing. So neither team wanting to budge here, even after a timeout. At least not yet. We'll see. We haven't seen anything yet. Okay, same thing for Ken Sumeshi.
I definitely feel like a couple of the cards are going to be mixed up, right? Maybe one difference could come in. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay. Poison. He has enough mana. Yep. But defensive poison, though.
Yeah.
This time from Ken Sumeshi. So far,
Bowler, though.
the same.
Bowler getting two of the boulders down the lane. And you can see a bit of a sour look there from Ken Sumeshi. Not happy with the way that went.
Yeah, Zeros looking okay. He just gave a little nod of approval there. Valkyrie going down. Royal Ghost to counter in the opposite lane. Ice Wizard coming down to try to counter that Royal Ghost. The Royal Ghost is going to get a Tornado gets one swipe in. King Tower, yes. Pekka coming down, so looks like Valdez, not much has changed.
Yeah, looks like pretty much nothing. Pekka gonna get in range here. Good zap to just allow that Pekka to get in. It's so close.
He's gotta
he
drop
doesn't
something in
have
front.
anything. Oh man, one swipe. Oh, he blocks it on the second one. Zeros, you can see he's feeling the pressure now. That was not the best defense.
No, that you can't let Pekka get one swipe before sudden death. It's just too much. It's just too much damage, or even before double elixir, because that's when the Pekka deck gets really scary, is when double elixir happens.
Yeah.
It's okay. The Ice Wiz doing a good job against the Royal Ghost. Keeping that thing at bay. Electro Wiz, though, gonna get poison this time. So not able to match the Graveyard and the Poison together is Zeros with this deck that he has to go against with Ken Sumeshi. Makes it a lot harder for him to do that combo together.
Bit of discombobulation in the play.
Oh, there's a difference. This is it.
Yeah.
No Bandit. We have a Dark Goblin.
There's a difference, guys. Unfortunately, that Dark Goblin is not very good against Tornado.
No, or Bowler.
Yeah. And in tandem, it's pretty pitiful.
Yep. So nothing doing on that push. Drops gets that Dark Goblin going again, but the Dark Goblin left alone will do a lot of damage. He's forced to poison it. A little bit of damage from the Graveyard as well there. The Tornado pulling some things in. So evening things up a little bit of Zeros, but that Miner does come in and get a few swipes onto the right-hand tower of Zeros.
Royal Ghost getting some pretty good value too. Takes out that Ice Wizard, extra swipe onto the Valkyrie. Wizard in the defense. This is going to be a close one, guys. Down to the wire as sudden death and 3 extra minutes is added to the clock.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see if Ken Sumeshi can make these pushes work. The Bandit didn't seem like it was that necessary of a card. in that last exchange, so maybe it's a little bit better to have the Dark Goblin here. It's getting forced, it's forced to be tornadoed, poisoned. Zap's coming down, trying to keep that Inferno Dragon off the P.E.K.K.A, but this time the P.E.K.K.A's not quite able to get through. And in fact, Kensumeshi had to use that poison before, or without hitting the tower.
This time able to get the combination on in there with the poison and that graveyard ticking away. Getting it down below 1,000 health now, the lead going over to the side of Zeros.
Yep, he's gonna need that E-Wiz. Just not quite enough. That Miner might be the difference here. Getting in some more hits, a few more shovels, getting slowed by the Ice Wiz, but not quite enough. Royal Ghost taking down that E-Wiz. Here comes the Valkyrie. Ooh, got it close enough? Ooh, not quite.
Super close to being close, though. Poison and Graveyard this time around. The P.E.K.K.A not the best up against this combination. Lots of these skeletons getting in. The Zap having to be used there right at the last second. You have the P.E.K.K.A running down the lane, but just 1 inch closer now is Zeros to the victory.
Yeah, I mean, Kensumeshi trying to get in here, but Zeros doing a great job countering these pushes. But that Miner gets in there again, gonna get a few more shovels in. Minions this time getting in on the board, that's big. They take that thing down, they're gonna get a couple swipes themselves.
Yeah, down to 464. What have you got this time? Got to get that Dark Goblin in range, but the Pokey going in with the poison. This is the big push. The Miner on the defense, and doesn't look like it will be enough. It's going to be so close, though.
Just short. He only needs one more poison. He can't let that Valkyrie get close. He's got 2 Royal Ghosts defending. He's got to find a way to make this next push work. Otherwise, Zeros will win this game.
Poison comes in from the side of Kensumeshi, but as you said, just the 1 poison is going to be enough, and there it comes down. The Miner trying to help it around with the Zap, and he gets the win! 16 health, a huge upset, as it looks like Kensumeshi was going to go down, but that is not the case. I wasn't sure if he could reach that far, but it was poison, and then Miner, and then Zap to just barely win out against only the poison.
Wow. That was crazy. I thought Zeros had that. I was like, oh, Zeros, good job, man. All you had to do is get that poison, but really well timed there by Kensumeshi.
Was a crazy one way down to the wire, and that's good news for Fav Gaming, right? They're able to pick up a win after their loss up against Detonation Gaming in the second match. So props to them. A really hard-fought victory. You know, they're going to feel that one. They're going to be happy when they go out for celebration dinner on their win. But yeah, GameWith also getting pretty close to the double win as they were able to take out Ponos Sports earlier. But yeah, it's been a pretty fun day so far.
Yeah, really interesting day to see these Japanese teams really favoring that cannon cart. Graveyard very popular with them as well. But we're going to jump to an interview real quick with Kensumeshi.
それでは勝利を収めたファブゲーミングのケンツメッ選手です。まずは勝利した今の感想をお願いします。
How do you feel about the game?
最後まで諦めない気持ちってのが大事なのかなと。
Remind me that it's very important not to give up until
最
the
後
end.
のあそこも相手のポイズン圏内というところで
With the
リーが差し込みました。
last play,
そう
the
です。相手が
opponent
結構
played a
早めに
poison.
リガー警戒してくれたので、
Yes, but actually
最
that
後のワンチャンまで
opponent's card with
諦
the
めずにプレ
poison
ーできてよかった
turned
で
around
す
the game.
さあということでありがとうございました。
Thank
勝利
you.
したファブゲーミングのケンツメッ選手でした。
Yep, just a couple of questions real quick on the interviews today.
Short and sweet.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, guys. Good to hear from Kensumeshi. I was feeling pretty bad for him because he lost in the 1v1 up against Tempura earlier. If he lost again on that close of a match, he was not going to be happy with his day today. But he gets the win for his team, so he looked pretty happy in the interview.
Yeah, being asked to do double duty there in the 1v1s is tough, but that P.E.K.K.A deck really strong right now. We saw that work a lot yesterday with the Korean teams, and Kensumeshi pulling it out and doing it here as well today.
Yeah, just the P.E.K.K.A in general. You know, if you can, we saw in the second match actually where he was able to get 2 on the push, 2 P.E.K.K.As that were able to come out and eventually take the win for him. So pretty good against a lot of the stuff. I mean, the bowler, the golem, the giant skeleton, a lot of those different cards it does pretty well into, and yeah, I like the deck overall. I think we'll be seeing more of that for sure.
Yeah, a really fun day today. Let's take a look at our results. GameWith defeating last season's champions, Ponos Esports, in the first game. Second match, Detonation taking it against Fav Gaming. And in the third match, Fav Gaming defeating GameWith. So a nice win for Fav Gaming because, you know, GameWith won last season, and they were able to beat them here, especially after GameWith defeated Ponos.
Gonna take a look at the standings here as well. Everything has been updating with all the 3 regions getting a game here. It looks like Detonation Gaming with just the 1 win today. They were the team that were only able to play the 1 game. So up towards the top there, Fob Gaming actually ahead of GameWith, and Ponos Sports down there at the bottom.
Yeah, we expect that to change. They're a very strong team, and they played well against GameWith, but they just couldn't quite get it done in the end. Not Mikan Booyah, I'm sorry. That one went to the King of the Hill, and Mikan Booyah ended up losing it. So here's our schedule for next week, guys. Friday, it'll be the SEA teams facing off again. A little bit of a different schedule. We're going to see Chaos Theory. We didn't see them there last week. Saturday, back in Seoul here at the OGNE Stadium. It'll be another exciting day for Clash Royale. And then Sunday is Japan.
Japan seemingly catching the Sunday matches that time around. A little bit of a swapperino, I suppose. Actually, no, it's Sunday today.
It is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's there you go. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the same.
Sunday, isn't it?
The same, yeah. Interesting. Same 3 days in a row are going to be our timetable in terms of the regional play. Of course, in week 3, we will be jumping into the mixed rounds where the different regions will face up against each other. So I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Yeah, definitely really exciting stuff. I like that we're giving the teams more time to play each other in regions. I think that's really necessary. I mean, you only have like 3 games you get to play, maybe 2 if you lose both of them, to really show your stuff. So the more games they get to play against each other, the more kind of fair it is.
Yeah, for sure. So it was a fun one. It was a little bit faster today, just 2 hours, 15 minutes, even though we did have that long King of the Hill to start off the day. I suppose when we do get the pre-recording stuff in here, we just kind of skip through, go a little bit faster, which I feel like does improve the flow, makes things just go a little bit faster.
Yeah, it was a fun day. I mean, we finally got to see a King of the Hill the first time here in Clash Royale League Asia Season 2. Really fun stuff today. So much graveyard. So much poison.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of those cards are going to be seeing a lot. We'll see if any other teams want to mix it up as we do go into next week. Make sure to join us back on Friday for more action here at Clash Royale League Asia. Of course, Paper Thin should be back. I'll be back for one more day in about 2 weeks. We'll see. I'll see you guys then. But it's been fun casting the Clash Royale, and looks like we're just about ready to close it out here, guys. So we will see you guys next time on Friday.